Hi everyone, and welcome to Duck Stanford Stadium for a huge third-round playoff matchup. I am Reese Kinder. Alongside me, my color analyst Trip Upton and James Tippins. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Reese. I'm so glad to be right back here. One last one at the Duck, and it couldn't be bigger than the 101st Auburn-Opelika game.
Yeah, super excited for this Auburn-Opelika game. You know, 101st, you said. Get your popcorn ready, folks. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one, like you guys said. 101st annual meeting between these two teams. Auburn leads the series 50-47-3. But we're going to get started tonight with just the matchups. These teams trying to make it to state. This game all lies here, in all eyes from the 7A region on this game tonight. But we're going to start for you guys. Just what are you guys looking for from both offenses tonight? Starting with you, Trip.
Yeah, I mean, people have been calling this the JV Bowl, and that is a great description. And why, you might ask? It's because of these quarterbacks. J.D. Pate might be getting the start for Auburn. Kason Myers, a game-time decision. He went down early against Daphne. J.D. was able to play well and win that game in dominating fashion, 40-0. Down on the beaches of the Bay. Meanwhile, for Opelika, it's Whit Cooper, came into the season as the third-string quarterback. He's had the start, and he's played pretty well thus far. Had 2 touchdowns against Baker. Has about 800 yards on the season thus far, passing the ball. So it's going to be the JV ball between these quarterbacks, and it's going to come down to also the skill position guys for both. The running backs for Opelika, guys like C.J. Johnson, Jordan Waits. Out at fullback, we have Blake the Hammer Johnson. He's been dominant as well on the ground. And then meanwhile for Auburn, you have J.J. King, and you have these electric wide receivers, Josh Askew, B.J. Collins, guys like Antonio Welsh, who's had a great season thus far. That's what it's going to come down to. And then, of course, the trenches. Can't forget about them. Both offensive lines are tough and physical. I see Darius Whitlow making an impact offensively for Opelika on the line, and obviously Trenton Pritchett for Auburn making an impact on the line offensively. Now, James, what do you think about the defense?
Yeah, the defense side of the ball. For Auburn, I think it's one of the best defensives in the state. Coach Goolsby's really got a squad this year, from the linebacking core of Greg Williams, Alex Gampston, Aiden Parker, to up front with Carnell Jackson and Colin King. They just a really powerful defense. And same thing for Opelika, has really been playing well this postseason, has not given up many points. So that's going to be a really fun matchup to watch. Just maybe a defensive battle game, but only time will tell.
Yeah, certainly, Trip and James. The offense, like you said, Trip, has been good for both squads coming into this playoff matchup. Both squads have scored a lot in this playoffs. Auburn started off the playoffs, one of the best games I think so far we've seen this year with Vestavia Hills and Auburn was 52-41. Auburn had a really good game last week against Daphne, traveling on the road all the way down to the bottom of the state, won that game 40-0. And then, James, like you mentioned, both defenses in this playoffs have honestly stepped up big, because that one play for Colin King there in that Vestavia Hills game was a momentum switcher. And then Auburn's defense last week gave up 0 points. And then Opelika as well did really well against Baker, stopping almost everything. Baker was kind of just, motionless and couldn't do much. But getting into matchups for tonight's game, just looking at some key players for you guys, and we're going to start on both sides, but I think we want to start with the offense. What are some matchups you want to see tonight, Trip?
Yeah, offensively, again, I really want to see these trenches go to work. You mentioned it earlier. Colin King on the defensive line, guys like Carnell Jackson, the defensive line, against guys like Darius Whitlow on the Opelika offensive line. I talked to Cam Creighton today, one of the defensive ends for Auburn. He said this game will be decided by the trenches. That is exactly what Coach Goolsby, Coach Wang, and Coach Etheridge are stressing to these guys, and that is exactly what's the matchup that I want to look at. It's some good old-fashioned slobber knocker football from the trenches.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, and the defensive side of the ball, I think it's going to come down to the run game. J.J. King is a great running back. Opelika's got some great linebackers back there. So I think that matchup, who will hit those gaps, those holes open up from Trenton Pritchett, Tucker Hobbs, and, who will hit those gaps from J.J. King or Jaden Huff. But yeah, this defense for Auburn, I was hitting on it earlier, but Aiden Parker has stepped up in a big way. Greg Williams has been there all season, one of the best linebackers in the state. So it's going to come down to the trenches, like y'all said, and who's going to make that tackle, who's going to get that interception, that big tackle for a loss. It's going to come down to that tonight.
Yeah, really just, a lot of great talent on both of these squads for Auburn-Opelika, the 101st annual meeting between these two teams. But, folks, that's going to do it for AHS pregame. Coming up next is a performance from the Auburn High Marching Band. But don't go away, folks. As we come back, we'll have kickoff.
and gentlemen, on behalf of Dr. Kristen Herring, Superintendent of Auburn City Schools, and Dr. Gregory Moore, Principal of Auburn High School, we welcome you again to Duck Samford Stadium, home of your Auburn High School Tigers. Stand up and get into the Auburn spirit as we continue the hunt for the Alabama 7A State Championship. And now for your pregame entertainment, we present the Auburn High School Marching Band. Please stand and join us as the band performs the Auburn High School alma mater, conducted by AHS Director of Bands, Miss Deanna Marshall. us in a moment of silence in memory of Jennifer Cooper. We pause to honor her life, her impact, and the many people she touched with her kindness and presence. Thank you. Presenting the colors at tonight's football game is the Auburn High School JROTC Color Guard. The commander of the Color Guard is Blake Adams, carrying the United States flag. The Alabama state flag is carried by Cadet Catherine Key. The guards are Cadet James Burney and Cadet Haley Cash. Please remain standing as we honor our nation with the playing of our national anthem. Marching Band wants to encourage you to visit our concession stands this evening, run by the Auburn Band Boosters Association. All proceeds from the concession stands directly support the band programs at East Sanford School, Auburn Junior High, and Auburn High School. Again, welcome to the Duck and best of luck to our guests from Opelika. Enjoy the game and go Tigers! game for Opelika, number 3, Christopher Johnson. Number 28, Jalen Nelson. Number 63, Tanner Oliver. Number 90, Tremaine Thomas. Number 93, Joshua Davis. Number 30, Trevon Hurd. Captains for the Tigers. Number 1, BJ Collins. Number 5, Antonio Welch. Number 3, Greg Williams. Number 11, Aiden Parker. And number 99, Cornell Jackson. Opelika won the toss, deferred to the second half. Auburn will receive.
It is 10-2 Auburn Tigers versus the 9-3 Opelika Bulldogs. James, who you have between Auburn and Opelika?
Yeah, this is just written in the script. You know, Auburn-Opelika to face to go to the state championship. Feels like a movie script, really does.
101st Auburn-Opelika rivalry. Couldn't get any better than this for the third round of the playoffs, and it's just going to be an exciting matchup, and I can't wait to commentate this one for Auburn-Opelika. This is going to be a fun one. Hello everyone and welcome to Duck Sanford Stadium for third round playoff action between Auburn and Opelika. This is the 101st matchup between these two teams. I am Reese Kinder, alongside me my co-host James Tippins and Trip Upton. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, Reese. The lights are the brightest tonight for 7A football in Alabama, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, Reese, it is a beautiful night in Auburn, Alabama. A little wet on the field, had a little bit of rain come through earlier, but neither of these teams care. They just want to get to tearing each other apart once this kick hits toe meets leather.
Yeah, and Auburn going to get the ball to start here, so Opelika kicks this one away. It will be returnable, but it is going to bounce to the back of the end zone. So Auburn's starting off here on offense, and it looks like Auburn's going to go with sophomore quarterback J.D. Pate to start this game. Kind of a questionable, we'll see maybe if Casey Myers comes in there. J.D. Pate and Casey Myers are both in the huddle.
It's gonna be
We'll see who comes out. It looks like it will be J.D. Pate coming out there.
Yeah, I like that decision by Coach Ethers. J.D. 92 yards, 2 touchdowns last week against Daphne. The kid is hot right now. Let's see what he can do against this tough Opelika front.
1st and 10 here from the 20-yard line. Auburn getting ready to start, almost an offsides penalty there. And now Pate going to run this one up the middle, and he's brought down on the first play of the game. A huge tackle for loss there by Manuel Stone.
Yeah, Manuel Stone right there, just stuffing the hole right there. J.D. Pate taking a little read option right up the gun. Manuel Stone said, not today.
Yeah, Opelika runs to love that 4-3 even front with the split safeties. They like to add pressure on the quarterback, and they will do so on the young fella.
2nd and long here. Pate trying to find someone. It's wide open, but it's intercepted by the Bulldogs. A tip pass, and the Bulldogs are going to try to run this one back. He's going to the 10, to the 5, and it's a touchdown. Bulldogs in the 2nd play of the game. A pick 6. Thomas, he had 6 tackles last week against Baker, and now Auburn in some trouble here early on to start this rivalry matchup.
Yeah, beautiful play right there by Xavier Thomas. He's the leader of this defense. He is physical in the box. That one right there, just a tipped pass, a little bit too high for Cash Reeve, and Xavier Thomas makes him pay, taking it to the house and getting the touchdown, and Opelika is up early.
And now Opelika going to attempt the point after here. See if the Bulldogs can move this lead to 7 with Reese Beasley up for the kick. And Beasley's kick is up and through, so Opelika gets this 101st annual rivalry started with an opening score here with a pick 6 to start this game, and quarterback J.D. Pate already struggling here early.
Yeah, the young gun, J.D. Pate, throwing him out there. Overthrew Cash Reef a little bit, tipped up in the air. Not what you want to see. Wonder what Coach Ether's going to do next drive. I think he's going to stick with Pate, but you have to wonder maybe if Myers can play, maybe throw him back in there. But hoping for this Tigers offense to bounce back right here, maybe run the ball a little more.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
And like you said, guys, I mean, Auburn just that first drive, J.D. Pate a great ball thrown there, but just a tip pass. Maybe the rain earlier playing a little bit of a factor to that throw on that Pate had there in the middle of the field. Had a man wide open, but just was almost a little high too.
Yeah, I mean, looks like this Opelika secondary. We talked about Xavier Thomas earlier. Braden Howard, 5 interceptions, 14 pass deflections this season. He's been really the leader in that secondary. That's been great. And when Opelika can get pressure, as you saw right there, they're able to give their secondary time to adjust.
So Auburn going to try it again here, and that kick by Beasley sails to the back of the end zone again. So we will see Auburn's offense come out again. Last drive, the pick 6. Opelika already up 7-0 here early on in this first quarter. And like you said, James, what can Coach Etheridge do here on this next drive to get Auburn to score?
Yeah, he's got to get Pate in rhythm. Those check down routes to ask you and stuff. Maybe look not to over the field as much. Maybe get the running game going, but he's got to make him feel comfortable in the pocket. Once he gets comfortable, the offense can start cooking.
Now Pate with an empty set here. Pate going to run this one up the middle himself, but he's going to be brought down by Opelika. A huge tackle, but it's going to be a fumble, but it looks like they will rule him down as he celebrates there in the end zone. But Pate brought down there, and a great tackle for loss from the Bulldogs to start this drive.
Yeah, looks like Karen King trying to pull right there, just ran into Pate and bounced him into Tremaine Thomas. Thomas had a sack last week against Baker and is one of the leaders of this defensive line. That play was going to go nowhere, and J.D. Pate's lucky they rolled forward progress on that. That could have been 2 back-to-back touchdowns for the Opelika defense.
Yeah, now the offsides penalty here. You saw a little bit of a jump there from Stone. He was coming in as a blitzer and was right there at the end. And now Auburn going to move up 5 yards, which is a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, let's watch this play right here. See, runs into the guard. Actually, might have run into J.J. King. And looks like that he was down. The ball came out later, so close to disaster.
And now Pate going to run this one to the outside. Has blockers. He's going to make a hole, or the line's going to make a hole for him, but he's brought down. And another run, another read option run we've seen. So 3 straight running plays so far to start this drive.
Yeah, haven't really seen much from it. Looks like Casey Myers is coming in for this 3rd down play. You wonder if this definitely should be a throw, but let's see what Casey's got.
Yeah, they're splitting those linebackers out wide. Maybe if you have a draw and open on the inside of the field, you can get a first down.
Myers empty set, going to draw back to throw here. He finds a receiver wide open. It's Joshua Askew for the first down. And a great throw there by Casey Myers. You saw, guys, the hurt shoulder, a lot of question marks going in this game, but just a great throw to start that.
Yeah, that's just what the doctor ordered right across the middle field to his favorite target, Askew. Let's keep doing that. Rolling down the field, a little hurry-up tempo offense that Keith Etheridge loves to run.
And now another empty set here, 4 receivers at the top of your screen. Myers going to throw a screen pass here to Welch. Welch to the outside. He's going to make a man miss. Near the 20. He's going down near the 35-yard line right there, and a good job by Antonio Welch.
Yeah, offensive coordinator Will Langdon loves those screen plays, especially when you have guys like Josh Askew and Antonio Welch on the outside. That one, Opelika's defense tried to send pressure up the middle, and instead the ball was able to get to the outside. I'm surprised if one tackle away from breaking that one long.
And now Auburn on 2nd and 6 here, going to hand this one off to King. King's going to run, has a big hole, and he's going to be brought down just short of the marker. Got a few yards to go here.
Good run from King. Definitely want to see him get some more carries, get his legs under him. He had a huge game against Daphne last week. This whole playoffs really against Vestavia also, but if you get King rolling, this offense is hard to stop.
Looks like another flag, and they jumped again.
Yeah, it looks like it will be an offsides penalty, so Auburn will be able to move the chains here, and that's a good sign for Auburn getting close to midfield now after the pick 6 on that first drive. And you see Casey Myers has just been a momentum changer so far coming in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Pate is good. I mean, granted, just a bad start, maybe not what you wanted to see, but Myers, I mean, I'd like to see how long they leave him in, and if they're going to run with him. I highly doubt they will.
The 1st and 10 here. Myers dropping back, has a lot of pressure. Myers stepping up. He's going to run here, and he's going to be brought down. Looks like he gets a yard or 2. Looks like maybe 3 on that carry there.
Yeah, Manuel Stone just being right there, forcing him down, and I like to see Myers sliding, protecting himself. That's going to be the most important part of his game as he tries to develop into a guy that can go play at the next level. Slide, get down, and just try and move his chains and stay healthy.
So now Auburn 2nd and 7 here, nearing midfield. Myers going to throw a screen pass to Joshua Askew. Askew makes a man miss, makes another man miss, and he's brought down just beyond midfield here. Looks like about the 46-yard line.
Yeah, it was Braden Howard back there again. Little screen play to the opposite side of the field this time. Braden Howard read it like a book. Able to get the tackle for a loss. 3rd and 2 now. See what the Tigers got.
3rd and 2 indeed, James. And now Myers going to hand this one off to King. King going to make a man miss. We'll see if they mark him just at the marker. We'll see if they give him the first down. Looks like they're going to say 4th down here. So 4th and short. The Tigers look like they're going to keep the offense on the field here. So big play call early on in this first quarter. And Auburn's got to get this 4th down conversion to keep the chains moving.
If they run a play, look for Kaysen to draw the ball right up the middle. It's a big guy.
BB's offside. Maybe you can get like a quick screen play onto the right.
Now Myers going to fake the handoff. He's going to go up the middle, and he's going to get the first down. And it's going to be a first down for Auburn. So they're going to move the chains.
Yeah, tough running right there by Myers. Able to slip a tackle and fall forward for the first down. A little bit of a hard landing, but he's still okay. So if he's still moving, Auburn's got a chance.
Empty set here for Myers. And that last play call was a really good play call, just to run right up the middle for Myers. That shoulder, like you said, Tripp, you didn't really want to see him run a little bit, but he was able to, and got that first down. Check down pass there, and it's caught. Great catch there from the Tigers.
Almost picked up by number 5 senior linebacker Norman Matthews for the Dogs.
A great screen power, curl route here for J.J. King, just able to catch this one. And like you said, Tritt, that was almost an interception, and Casey Myers lucky to have that one. Now Myers going to draw back here, has a lot of time, going to throw this to the sideline. It's caught. A great catch there from the sideline from Antonio Welch.
Yeah, that's what Casey Myers has been good at all year. Feeling the pressure, making a something out of nothing play, finding one of his favorite targets, Antonio Welch. Last week, 42 yards and a touchdown for Antonio. We see a lot out of him, from deep balls to little screen plays. Coach Etheridge likes to call him silky because he's silky smooth.
I like that.
So 3rd and short here for the Tigers. in Opelika territory. Myers going to throw this one, but it's batted down. A great deflection there from the Bulldogs.
Xavier Thomas all over that one. If he was a second earlier, maybe he gets that second pick six of the night, and it goes from a disaster to a tragedy for the Tigers. Fourth down right here. Maybe this just outside of Joe Daniels' range. Would not be surprised for them to leave the offense on the field and at least get a look at what's coming next.
Yes, indeed, Tripp. It looks like they're going to do that here. You see Casey Myers in the backfield, empty set by himself. Look for maybe a screen pass here on 4th and 3. So 4th and short for the Tigers. Myers going to drop back here, has a lot of pressure. Myers going to step up. He's going to run. He's going to get the first down and more. And Myers into field goal range for the Tigers.
My goodness, Casey Myers proving time and time again just his toughness, the pocket's collapsing right here. 4th down, nowhere to go. Pocket collapsing. Injured Casey Myers, taking off, showing real grit, moving the Tigers down the field, 1st down.
Now Myers going to throw a screen pass here to Askew. Askew's going to cut the field, make a man miss. He's going to the 10, and he's near the end zone. He steps out of bounds right near the 5-yard line. Looks like the 6. Great play by Joshua Askew, and we call that yak, yards after catch.
Yeah, he looked like Houdini getting away from those 2 tacklers, and he was able to make a play, and here they come. Carnell Jackson, Colin King, lovingly known as the freak package because of the freak athleticism that they have. They're going heavy set. I'd love to see one of them get the ball right here. Maybe we could see a throw this time. Carnell has 2 touchdowns rushing on this season, including one against Vestavia. Maybe we see something through the air to Colin King.
Now going to be a handoff here to Carnell Jackson. Carnell Jackson gets down near the 2-yard line, and a great run there by big Carnell Jackson. He scored a touchdown in the Vestavia game, and he runs this one near the end zone.
Yeah, I would say Colin King and Carnell Jackson are 2 folks that are kind of hard to get down, as some would say, so putting them in here is just punch it in.
2nd and goal from the 2 here, and Myers going to hand it off to Jackson again. Jackson busts up the middle. It's a touchdown for the Tigers, and the Tigers are back on the board, and it's 6-7 here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, I'm sure they are not only celebrating in Auburn, but also celebrating in Manhattan, Kansas. The Kansas State commit, Chris Kleinman's got to be loving that. Maybe he could put in his future star defensive tackle and a running back. And that is a beautiful play design, beautiful call, and it's a touchdown. This ball game is tied.
There's Daniel here attempting the PAT to put this game even in this 1st quarter. And his kick is up and through. So Auburn, after a disastrous start, answers back with quarterback Casey Myers coming in the game with a hurt shoulder, and he leads the Tigers down the field. And big Carnell Jackson, the defensive lineman, puts Auburn in a tie here early on in this 1st quarter.
My goodness, what a drive. 2 4th down conversions from Casey Myers. You just love to see the grit. J.D. Pate going out there throwing a pick 6, 2nd play of the game. Hurt Casey Myers just coming out there, showing real resilience for this team, bringing this team back. Now getting the defensive side of the ball out there. Great job of this Auburn Tigers just bouncing back. First time we get to see this Opelika offense.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Whit Cooper, the sophomore quarterback, had 2 touchdowns last week against Baker. He's really stepped up when it matters for the Dogs. And this running game, too, is going to be really, really interesting to watch. Jordan Waite, C.J. Johnson, Jalen Nelson, Cornelius Pink, Blake the Hammer Johnson. This fullback is insane. 6 foot, 200 pounds. He had 2 touchdowns against Baker. Expect him to be heavily involved in kind of a sniffer H-back, fullback role for this team.
And this one's returnable for the Bulldogs. They're going to get a good return out of it, but there is a flag in the backfield there, maybe a block in the back on that kickoff return, but a really good job from Auburn to corral that kick returner there at the end of that play. Joseph Daniel actually the one with the tackle. Let's see what the flag is here from the man in the white hat. Looks like it will be a holding here on the Bulldogs, so this will bring them back. But this game looks like it's shaping up to be an absolute classic here for the 101st Auburn-Opelika rivalry. It's just been a really good game so far to start in this 1st quarter. And now we're going to get to see Opelika quarterback Whit Cooper, the sophomore, like you mentioned, Tripp, had a great game against Baker last week, coming into one of the biggest environments in 7A football, and we'll get to see Whit Cooper start here. So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs offense. deep in their own territory. Cooper going to hand this one off. Going to run up the middle, but Colin King, first man to get on there, and he's only going to gain about a yard.
Yeah, that's their guy, CJ Johnson. Expect a lot of that through this game, just those little inside handoffs, but a great job by this Auburn defensive line just swallowing them up. Carnell Jackson, Colin King, the big boys up front.
2nd and 9 here for the Bulldogs. See Johnson in the backfield yet again. Now man in motion. Gonna hand this one off here. Gonna run up the middle, makes a few men miss, and it's gonna be a first down for the Bulldogs. A great run there from Opelika.
Yeah, again, it's hammer time for the Dogs. Blake Johnson with a big carry up the middle. They like to bring him in kind of tight end and then run like a jet sweep power. Offensive coordinator J.D. Atkins, I've had some time to sit down and talk to him in the past. Great guy, great offensive mind. He's really being creative tonight.
Screen pass here for the Bulldogs. Gonna make a man miss here, and it's gonna be brought down just short of the marker, but a great tackle there by Cam Creighton and Aiden Parker at the end of that play, but that's Jalen Washington with the reception.
Yeah, Washington had a touchdown last week against Baker, so he's going to be really someone that they lean on in the receiving game.
So now 2nd and short here for the Bulldogs. They're continuing to move this ball downfield. Now Cooper going to fire this one deep. Has a one-on-one in the corner with Washington and McGee, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that's B.J. McGee in coverage. You know, DB1 for the Auburn Tigers, you know, the veteran. Don't throw, they won't throw close to him. B.J. McGee's a lockdown corner outside.
Yeah, I see two pieces of laundry here on the field, though. Might be offsetting penalties. They got a one by the line of scrimmage. Might be a hold on that one because that was a long throw, and then maybe pass interference on McGee. But I don't think that ball was catchable. Let's see.
That looks like a holding there, and it looks like it was a pass interference as well. And like you said, that wasn't a catchable ball, so a very questionable call there, but that will just be offsetting penalties, so it will be 3rd down here.
Looks like they're just going to redo the down.
It's actually 2nd down and short here again, so yeah, they'll just redo the down on this one. A lot of people in the backfield here for the Bulldogs. Now Cooper going to fake the handoff. He's going to try to find a man deep again. He has someone open, and it's going to be caught. A great catch there by Dre Van, the senior wide receiver. 2 receptions last week against Baker.
Yeah, now they're going tempo right here. Just a beautiful pitch and catch by Whit Cooper. Had a man deep. If he puts that a little bit further, that could have been a touchdown. I don't know if he's outrunning Cortez Cooks. That was a good play.
So now Opelika at the 30-yard line of Auburn. They are getting into Auburn territory here. Now Cooper gonna fake the handoff here. He's gonna roll out, play action, gonna fire this one deep. He has a man, but it's gonna be incomplete, but there is a late flag called here at the end, so it's gonna be a pass interference on the Tigers.
Yeah, you have to just watch out for that. The ball was a little short. Receiver has to be able to come back to it. The safety duo for Auburn did not allow, so that's a free 15 yards. You saw this a lot in their game earlier in the playoffs against Hewitt-Trustful. The Dogs were down 21-6, and penalties really helped them get back into this game. Coach Keith Etheridge, Coach Scott Goolsby needs to get this defense to play physical, but play clean, or they're going to let the Dogs hang around in this one.
Yeah, so now the Bulldogs are deep in Tiger territory, now inside the red zone here at the 15-yard line. Be interested to see what the Bulldogs can draw up to maybe get a score and even take the lead here. Now 1st and 10, man in the backfield. Gonna hand it off to Johnson. Johnson going up the middle. He's brought down, gains a few yards though on that carry.
Number 3, Christopher Johnson on the carry.
Now some substitutions for the Tigers defense. The 2nd and 7 here. Gonna hand it off to Johnson again. Johnson makes a hole, and he's gonna get down near that 1st down marker. Great hole there by the offensive line for Opelika.
Yeah, they love to feed C.J. Johnson in the red zone. I expect them to keep doing that. This Auburn defense, hands on hips, kind of came out of nowhere. This Opelika defense driving down the field thanks to these penalties.
Yeah, big hole right there by Darius Whitlow, making the play and allowing Johnson to get a couple more yards. Let's see if they do keep it on the ground for 3rd down.
So 3rd and 2 Opelika trying to move the chains here. And you see they have the fullback Blake Johnson, the hammer, and then they also have CJ Johnson in there as well. Gonna hand it off here to CJ Johnson. Johnson gonna go up the middle. He's still pushing, and he's gonna be brought down at the 2-yard line. Opelika moves the chains now, and it's gonna be 1st and goal from the 2. And now Young handing it off, but it looks like it will be a stoppage of play here.
Might be a flag on Auburn, trying to run guys late, in and out. You saw that a week in the first game against Vestavia on this part of the field, that the Tigers trying to make late substitutions on the far hash. That really hurt them. Even though that was a touchdown on that play, there was 12 men. Would not be surprised to see the call the same.
For the penalty, timeout, Auburn, their first.
Oh, they're going to say Auburn took a timeout.
Yeah, it looks like it will be an Auburn timeout here. So Coach Etheridge tried to, I guess, make sure he didn't have that 12 men on the field penalty. So he called the early timeout, which is a really good decision. But so far, Auburn-Opelika 7-7 here in the 101st annual Auburn-Opelika game. Guys, what have you seen so far in this first quarter from both teams?
Yeah, Opelika's offense has looked pretty good to me. Whit Cooper delivering that deep ball to Dre Van to help him get down the field. Really consistent help from the penalties. And CJ Johnson and Jalen Nelson, just getting in there, getting some carries. Now at the maybe 2-3 yard line, about to punch it in again. But yeah, just really just giving it to the Auburn defense right now, and one of the best defenses in the state, making them look silly out here.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm looking at Auburn's defense right now. They just keep subbing in and out. They're not trying to keep the same guys in, and that's hurting them. That in the trenches, they don't look as good as they have recently. I talked to Cam Crane earlier today. He said we have to win the trenches. That's exactly what it's come down to the past couple years. That's exactly what Coach Scott Goolsby is saying. And so Carnell and Colin, Micah, Cam, Elijah Scott, who had a 4-sack game last week, have to start coming alive if they want to try and win this one.
So 1st and goal from the 2 here. Gonna hand it off to the hammer. He's gonna bounce his way off the tackler, and it looks like they're gonna mark him just short. Thought he got in the end zone there. Looked like the ball did cross the plane, but maybe his knee was down just before. So now 2nd and goal here from the 2-yard line. The same package Opelika had a minute to go. It looks like they will possibly hand this one off to Johnson again. Now going to hand it off again, and he's going to get into the end zone easily, and that is a touchdown from the hammer, Blake Johnson, and Opelika gets the lead back and answers after Auburn drives all the way down the field and scores.
Yeah, I can see where he gets the nickname from. Kind of hard to bring down. Just giving the ball right here. Hard guy to bring down, just powering into the end zone. Is giving the Opelika Bulldogs the 14-7 lead late in the first.
Yeah, and I mean, again, those mistakes continue to compound on each other. If J.D. Pate doesn't throw that interception and get that pick six, if he just throws it a little lower and Castry's able to bring it in, it's a 7-7 ball game. It looks like they've put double digits on the board. They've really only scored 7 points on offense. So now that the scripted drive is out of the way, I want to see how Auburn settles in and are able to play tough.
Yeah, and that extra point made by Reese Beasley. So Opelika up 14-7 here with 1:24 in the first quarter. And we're going to take a quick live look in now to some of these games around the region. We're going to take a look in at Thompson and Central. Thompson currently leading Central at Central. And this is kind of surprised because Central 11-1 on the season so far, guys.
Yeah, I mean, but Thompson's really turned it on for playoffs. That's exactly what they do. They had 3 losses in the regular season, but let's look at those 3 losses. Losing to Grayson in Georgia, losing to Clay Charter, one of the best teams in 6A, and one of the best teams in the state, and then rival Hoover on a 50-plus yard field goal. This Thompson team is still good despite the record. They are going to play this game super, super tough. They're built for this. I mean, 5 of the past 6 state championship matchups was,
Thompson, yeah.
Thompson and Central.
Thompson and Central, yeah.
And
or
guess
Thompson
who's the one?
Somebody else, yeah.
Us.
And now the kickoff from Beasley. And this one is going to just sail to the back of the end zone yet again. So Beasley so far tonight doing really good. But now we're going to see Auburn's offense come back out again. And the question is who's going to come in at quarterback, because J.D. Pate did start last drive, but Casey Myers came in and helped Auburn score. So the question is what's going to happen here and it looks like it will be Casey Myers coming back out, because you see both quarterbacks are in the huddle every time they go into that huddle, but Casey Myers will come out at quarterback. So Auburn going to start from the 20-yard line after the touchback, and King in the backfield with Myers. You see 3 receivers there at the bottom of your screen. So Myers going to fake the handoff here, throw to Askew on a screen pass. Askew makes a few men miss, and he's going to get near that first down marker, picks up a gain of 7.
My goodness, just threw that on a laser to Joshua Askew. You see those screens a lot. Love that play to get Myers' arm under him. See the replay here.
Yeah, I mean, they've really liked those screen passes, preventing the time that Myers has the ball in the backfield to prevent him from taking a sack. Love that play right there. Looks like there is a Bulldog down on the field, so they're going to a quick stoppage, give him a breather, and we'll be heading back to action as soon as he's up and ready to go.
Yeah, and so far this game, has been a tough one too. I mean, both teams have played their heart out to start this first quarter, and I feel like this is gonna be a long game. This is gonna be one of those games that we look back at in a few years and be like, this was one of those better Auburn-Opelika rivalry games in history. And actually the past few ones have been really close the past few years.
Yeah, I mean, looking at history, I mean, they've played 101, right? Dating back to 1917. I believe Auburn won the first one ever. So it's been a long time coming. These teams are very, very, very familiar with each other. So it is going to be a lot of emotions tonight, no matter what happens.
And good news there. The Opelika Bulldog able to get back up on his feet and go to the sideline. Hopefully he's okay for the rest of the game. So now going to be a 2nd and 3 here for the Tigers. Myers going to hand this one off to J.J. King. He's going to have a huge hole, and he's going to get the first down.
Yeah, love that hole right there from Trenton Pritchett, 67th best player in Alabama, the senior committed to Troy University. We'll be heading down to Troy, Alabama with you, Reese. That was a great play right there. He was really good in run blocking right there.
You see Antonio Welch and J.J. King both next to Casey Myers there in the backfield. So interesting set here, but they will maneuver around a little bit. But Auburn trying to end the first quarter here with maybe a score, and Myers going to drop back here, going to go to the outside. He's going to just try to find someone open, and now he's going to have to run, but he's brought down. Looks like maybe picked up a yard, or maybe just got no gain on that play there. Not really a good play by Casey Myers.
Yeah, great play right there. Just continuing to move the ball down the field as this first quarter starts to wind down a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like he did pick up a yard on that last play, so this could be the last play of the first quarter. We'll see what Coach Etheridge wants to do. So an empty set here for Casey Myers. He's going to drop back, has a lot of pressure, got to step up in the pocket here, has someone behind him, makes a man miss. He's still going. He's getting down near midfield, and he's still going, and he gets the first down. And what a Houdini play from Casey Myers to end the first quarter.
My goodness, the athleticism is just shown again here. Casey Myers just taking off. Takes the snap, the pocket starts to collapse once again, bringing the pressure. Opelika's great job up front, and then just beats out these defenders, and then maybe takes a little hurdle right here. Gets them down to the 50-yard line going into the second quarter. But, man, Casey Myers is playing with some heart right now in this Opelika-Auburn rivalry.
You would never be able to know that he was a game-time decision.
Well, now that is going to do it for the end of the first quarter. Opelika leads Auburn 14-7. Coming up next, second quarter action.
Your juniors, C.J. Clark, Chloe Johnson, Reagan Parker, Kate Pearson, Avery Riley, Michaela Sanford, Jenna Stanley, B.B. Wilson, Della Wright. Your seniors, Captain Raleigh Castleberry, Captain Caroline Deneke, Millie Deneke, Captain Katie Fordham, Captain Jamie Johnson, Ella Pierce, Stella Rogers, Captain Emery Slocum, and Addison Turner. Your head coach, Catherine Isbell, and assistant, Hannah Bodine.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back for second quarter action between the Auburn High Tigers and the Opelika Bulldogs. Opelika currently leads 14-7, but quarterback Casey Myers makes it look interesting at the end of the first quarter with a huge run to gain a first down, and now we're going to see Auburn's offense to start the second quarter. So 1st and 10 here. Myers going to drop back. He's going to have a lot of pressure. He's going to be brought down by the Bulldogs. A huge tackle for loss and a sack for Opelika.
Yeah, Carson Riddle, the junior defensive tackle, had 2 sacks last week against Baker, and he gets one right there, wrangling down Myers, something that's really hard to do, and forcing that one. There's an offensive line breakdown. They've really got to prevent that, because if you get behind the chains of this Bulldog defense, their secondary, guys like Braden Howard, Xavier Thomas, and Kentrell Oden are going to feast.
The man in motion here is King. Myers going to draw back, has more pressure, going to fire this one. Cash Reeve able to corral it. He's still going near midfield. He's going to be brought down just beyond midfield, and Cash Reeve, really good awareness there, being able to find that ball and come back to it.
Yeah, you said earlier just kind of a Houdini. That's how you described Casey Myers, and that's what it kind of looked like with this throw right here. Man in his face. Cash Reeve coming back to make that catch, and then the yak yards we talked about, run after catch, making it 3rd and manageable for the Tigers.
Now 3rd and 6 for Auburn after a huge gain from Cash Reeve. Myers in an empty set in the backfield here. 2 receivers on the top and bottom of your screen. Myers going to fire this one up the middle. It's caught, and 1st down for the Tigers. Great job there.
J.J. King out of the backfield for the 1st down. Great play, and that was able to move the chains right here. That was just a beautiful play design right there by Coach Wangman.
So now Auburn in business now, just beyond the 30-yard line. Looks like the 29. And Auburn trying to score here to tie this one up yet again. So Myers in an empty set. We've seen that a lot this season. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. And Myers going to draw back here. He's going to fire it up the middle, but it's incomplete. Pass was intended for Auburn receiver Joshua Askew.
Yeah, it's Norman Matthews, the senior linebacker. Kind of a high pass from Myers, but great job by Matthews to swat that ball away. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Love to see him take a shot here. Haven't really seen many deep shots to the big play receivers, Askew and Welch, but I'd love to see Myers dial one up here.
They're pulling everybody tight.
Now Myers going to hand this one off to King. King going to make a few men miss, has a hole. King's still going, and he's going to be brought down to extracurriculars after that play. It looks like they will mark him down, and he picked up about 7 on that gain.
Yeah, Bulldogs thought they came away with the ball, but great job right there. I like the call, getting the ball to J.J. King, turning it, if it's even with it, if a incomplete pass would have left you at 3rd and long, make it 3rd and manageable, 3rd and short even. Maybe we see a screen right here.
So 3rd and 3, Myers, a QB run. He's trying to push for that extra yardage, but it looks like he's going to be short for about 2 yards still to gain. And that was not the best of play calls there on that 3rd and 3.
Yeah, that Opelika defensive line knew what was coming. They saw the linebacker, the running backs come in to block, and knew Casey Myers was going to take that draw. We'll see what they do here on 4th down. They're perfect on 4th down so far. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'd say go for it.
I mean, they are in in Joseph Daniels' field goal range right here. So maybe they could try and draw them off sides. If not, then you just take the penalty and cut this lead to 4.
And Auburn putting a tight end there in Hampton Jordan to block. Now Myers is going to hand this one off to King. King has a huge hole, and he will push forward for a 1st down. We'll see the official signal here, but it looked like he did get that extra yardage, and they will move those chains. So J.J. King with a huge run to pick up a 1st down.
My goodness, I love that gutsy play call from Will Wagnon. Just giving it to his playmakers. J.J. King pulling the guard and the tackle over to block, and just letting J.J. King do his thing and get that 1st down. Love that play call.
Now Tigers in business, 1st and 10 here, just inside the red zone. Myers going to draw back here, has all the time in the world, fires it up the middle, and it is incomplete. And that was nearly caught for the Tigers. And it looks like Cash Reeve was the intended receiver, and it looks like he's down in the end zone. That was a great throw from Casey Myers, just not able to connect with his receiver there in the end zone, which would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, well, I really like the amount of time he had in the pocket right there. He looked comfortable. It didn't look like the pressure was getting to him. Was able to find a guy, but a great play by this Opelika defense. Xavier Thomas, Jamel Griffin looked like one of them was in on the stop, the safety duo. So hopefully everything's all right with Antonio Welsh. Or sorry, Cash Reeve.
Yeah, and Auburn just trying to trying to limit the injuries tonight because Casey Myers already banged up, and, some other guys have had some injury scares over the season. So Auburn trying to keep their team healthy before possibly a state championship game.
They got to get through this one first, obviously, Reese. I mean, both these teams want to head up 280 to Birmingham. That's the goal, but looks like they're going to be able to get some stuff done. And it looks like Cash is walking off the field, but Coach Etheridge having a mouthful with the officials. Maybe he thought there should have been a flag right there for some contact.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it. It looked like a lot of contact there in that end zone, but nobody pulled any flags. So now a 2nd and 10 here. Myers going to hand this one off to King. King has a hole, bouncing off tacklers, but he's going to be brought down. Looks like maybe picked up a yard or two on that carry.
Yeah, great tackle right there by Lakedrick Burks. The 6 tackles last week against Baker, just wrangling him down and forcing the Tigers into a 3rd and long. They've been doing well on 4th down. Is this 2-down territory for Coach Etheridge?
Yeah, like you mentioned, Tripp, they've been doing well on 4th down, 2 for 2 tonight, and they've been doing really good. So we'll see what Casey Myers can do, maybe pick up the 1st down here, and they don't need to do that. So 3rd and 8 here for the Tigers. You see 2 receivers at the top of your screen and 2 at the bottom. Myers has all the time in the world, going to fire this one up the middle. It's caught for a touchdown. It's Levi Kelly, his teammate at Pike Road. He finds him for the connection in the end zone.
My goodness, Casey Myers, first it was with legs, now with his arm. Cash Reef goes down, Levi Kelly steps up, wide open middle of the end zone. Casey Myers able to find his man. Tigers are up.
Yeah, and that was a great play. They had the safeties out really wide right there, and the offense able to take advantage. That's what you were looking at on that 1st down play. That's why they fired it over the middle. Just a great pitch and catch. You said something about Pike Road. The Patriots, they take on Saraland tonight. I'm interested in looking at what's going on for 6A for bracketology, but I'm glad that number 3 and number 15 are not in Pike Road, or not at Pike Road playing Saraland right now. They're at Auburn playing Opelika.
Yeah, for sure, Tripp. And Joseph Daniel puts that extra point up and through, so the Tigers even it after a great, efficient drive from Casey Myers, leading the Tigers down the field to score yet again. And it looks like I said earlier, it looks like this is going to be a heck of a game for these two teams in the 101st annual rivalry between these two.
Yeah, both these teams just throwing haymakers right now. Both sides of the ball, the defense and the offense. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna come down to a turnover. We talked about it earlier, Tripp. It came down to that 2nd play, pick 6. It could come down to that, but we'll see what this Opelika offense has.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a tie ball game, and there's actually been 3 ties ever between Auburn and Opelika. Obviously this game, because it's playoffs and because there's overtime now, it cannot be like that, but 3 ties in series history, 1926, 1944, and 1956. Obviously, almost barely anybody from that watched that game was born.
And now Opelika has all the room available. He's going to return this one to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown on the kick return for the Bulldogs. And it's a great job by the special teams unit for Opelika as CJ Johnson returns this one for 6.
And that tie game did not last long. A little bit of announcer jinx right there. Johnson, a special teams warrior as well. He played really well as running. He can catch the ball. He can return the ball. And right now, I'd say Opelika probably winning a lot of the phases with special teams, and their defense has been playing well. Their offense barely been on the field. They scored 14 points without them being on the field. So if Auburn wants to get back in this game, they've got to either start moving the ball more and get more points faster, or get a stop.
Yes, and now Reese Beasley going to attempt the point after here to get the Bulldogs a 7-point lead. And it looks like it will be waved off.
Looks like Coach Etheridge calls a timeout.
Yeah, using his 2nd timeout of the half. Really weird timeout there, on the extra point.
Maybe there was something he didn't like. Maybe he thought that they were going to run a fake to take it up. We've seen this in this game before I believe in 2022, in the 97th Auburn-Opelika game, you saw Auburn ran a fake field goal. They had their quarterback check in and then line up right near the sideline, and they ran them up touchdown. Kind of what you saw with Auburn and Oklahoma earlier this year at the collegiate level, but it wasn't a penalty then, or at least it shouldn't have been a penalty then. It should have been now, but it is what it is.
So now Auburn's special teams unit coming back out there, trying to make it a 6-point game if they can block this extra point. But Opelika if you guys are just joining us, Opelika returned that kick for 6 points after Auburn answered. Kason Myers got that, threw that touchdown to his former teammate Levi Kelly and was able to connect there. And now Opelika trying to extend their lead to 7 here with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. So Reese Beasley coming back out again after that timeout break. Trying to get the point after. And Beasley's kick is up and through. So Opelika expands their lead to 7 here, making it interesting as they are currently beating Auburn 21-14 with 7:41 to play here in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, both these coaches have playoff pedigree. Coach Brian Moore, 11-10 in the playoffs. Coach Keith Etheridge, 47-16. He's 7-4 with the Tigers. This is, I mean, his 5th season. So looking to bring the Tigers their first state championship game, but win. So they have to get there first to get through Opelika, but this is going to be a very hard-fought game. Opelika, they just love to win on big plays. They like to just control that chaos. And they're trying to be a team of destiny here. So Auburn just has to calm down and realize that, hey, we can't let those mistakes beat us.
Yeah, so the kickoff unit for the Bulldogs is coming back out there. Reese Beasley going to kick this one away for the 3rd time, actually the 4th time tonight, I believe, since the Bulldogs got kicked it off first. So Opelika going to try to boot this one deep and maybe not allow another kick return here for Auburn.
Yeah, I liked all the, I do a lot of our spot chart stuff. I did both offensive spot charts. I really like to be able to use them, but if the special teams keeps playing the way they are, we're not going to be able to.
And Beasley's kick going to just be returnable here, actually. It looked like it was going to sail the back of the end zone. It will be returnable, and Auburn making a few men miss, and he's still going, but he's going to be brought down there, and Auburn will be coming out on offense yet again. Saw Joshua Askew with the return there, but was not able to get that far. So Auburn offense, Kason Myers has done good for 2 drives here so far in this game. And guys, what are we looking forward to seeing here in this drive?
Yeah, I'd really love to see us go tempo. We've got to score quick. Early in the season, Coach Keith Etheridge put in, or Coach Will Wagner also, just put in that fast-paced offense that helped us score quick and early. We need to do that. We need some scores before half. We need to take that lead into half. Should have been a pass interference right there, but maybe a little trip. But yeah, I really would love to see just fast-paced Kason Myers getting the ball down the field, some screens. Just go back to the basics of what Auburn football has been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, certainly. And like you said right there, that could have been a pass interference, maybe a little bit of a trip there by Jaden King. He kind of, maybe flopped a little bit, but 2nd and long here for the Tigers. Kason Myers empty set in the backfield yet again. It's a man of motion. And now Myers going to drop back. Has all the time in the world. He's got pressure now. Myers getting away from the pressure. He's just running around, still going, and almost fighting his way for the first down. But Myers looks like picks up 8 on that carry.
Yeah, flag on the play. He had Josh Askew wide open underneath. I know that's hard to say, hey, throw the ball to the guy that's wide open when you have Tremaine Thomas and Joshua Davis bearing down on you, but able to make a play, make something out of nothing. Maybe the flag right here gets him an extra 15. We'll have to see.
Yeah, the officials meeting in the middle here, trying to decide something. We'll see what the head official says. It looks like it will be a holding on the offense, so it looks like it will be offsetting penalties, actually, so it will be just a replay of down, so it will be 2nd and 10 again. But really a big blow after Kason Myers made a highlight reel play there by just running away from the pressure and able to almost get a first down.
Yeah, those are costly. They'll add up in the long run. Cannot have those penalties.
Big win right there on that play for Opelika.
Now King in motion yet again, and Myers gonna just throw a screen pass to the outside here. Has a man wide open. He's still going down near the 30-yard line and getting a little bit more than that. It's a great catch there by Joshua Askew.
Yeah, I mean, great play right there. He was wide open on the last one. This time they get the screen. I like having J.J. King coming into motion and making the block right there to make the play. Just beautiful stuff.
Now Auburn 1st and 10, a great, just gain there for Auburn. Now Myers going to throw another screen pass here, has a man open again, and Hampton Jordan just ran into his own man there, and Auburn only gets about 2 on that screen pass.
Yeah, went right back to Askew, but couldn't get there. Great play by the defensive back of Opelika.
So 2nd and 9 here, actually picked up 1 on that last screen pass, and that's 2 straight screen passes for Auburn. 1 worked and 1 didn't.
Safety's in tight here. Maybe you can see this one go out to the outside.
So now Myers going to drop back, has some pressure. Myers fakes the throw. He's going to go to the outside, trying to avoid the pressure. Going to fire this one. Has a man. Antonio Welch comes all the way up, and he caught it, and he's going to be out of bounds. And it looks like he will. We'll see if he picked up the first down. I don't believe he did because he came all the way back to get that ball. And really great awareness yet again by another Auburn receiver. Antonio Welch this time coming all the way back to help Casey Myers out after he had a lot of pressure there in the backfield.
Gain of 3 right there.
That's a 3rd and minimal here for the Tigers. A 3rd and 6. Tigers nearing midfield. Now Myers going to drop back. Has some pressure, pump fakes the throw, and he just throws it to the back of Trenton Pritchett. You see Jaden King was right there, but if King wanted to catch that ball, he'd have to come a little bit further up, and the lineman just went a little too far downfield, and now it's going to result in maybe an Auburn punt. We'll see what Coach Keith Etheridge and Will Wagner have to do, but it looks like they will bring out the special teams unit.
Yeah, this Opelika defensive unit has just showed up for the challenge. I mean, have been flustering Casey Myers all night. As we see there, the screen pass was all over him. Disrupted the pass. Casey wasn't able to give it to Jaden King right where he needed to be, but Opelika defense stepping up in a big way right now, forcing the punt.
First punt of the night for any team, and Joseph Daniel able to punt that one away, and it's going to be returnable for the Bulldogs, but it looks like Auburn might be able to get them out of bounds, and they did. So a good return there from Opelika, but Auburn's special teams unit able to corral them there near the 35-yard line. So the Opelika offense will come back out again, and we will see Whit Cooper, the Opelika quarterback. We've only seen him really just one time tonight because Opelika's special teams and defense has stepped up big. But guys, what are you looking forward to seeing from Whit here in this drive?
Yeah, I just wanted to see him sling it. You know, the run game's been established. Auburn is going to have to stock the box, as you see right here with this 3-3, 4-3 front right here. So sling it to the outside. Let's see Dre Vaughn and Jalen Washington get involved.
And Cooper hands this one, or tried to hand that one off, but it looks like it will be a flag.
False start.
Yeah, it looks like a false start here for the Bulldogs. So good job for Auburn to make them jump here early on in this drive. So maybe get some momentum and even a stop, and Auburn can get back in business with that offense.
Auburn really needs to stop here if they don't want the momentum just totally switching right now. Really need to stop. That penalty helps, but let's see what this defense can do.
So 1st and 15. And now going to hand this one off to Johnson. He's brought down by Aiden Parker. A great tackle there from Aiden Parker.
Yeah, again, I mean, one of the better players in the state of Alabama. Hopefully see him move on to the next level and be on that Auburn in the college football graphic. He's been really dominant at middle linebacker for this squad.
Yeah, and you see Opelika going with the double back set here, the fullback and the running back. Now going to hand it off to Blake Johnson. Actually a fake here. I was tricked by that. He's going to hand it off to CJ Johnson. CJ Johnson going to the outside near midfield. He passes midfield and looks like he will be down at the 45-yard line. So a great trickeration. Looks like a reverse pass there from Opelika.
Yeah, that was wide receiver Jalen Washington on the little trickery. Even fooled us, but definitely fooled the Auburn defense. Just that breakaway speed, able to get around Cortez Cooks, pick up first down, and this Bulldogs offense is rolling.
So now Opelika moving the chains, getting into Auburn territory. And Opelika trying to score and make this a 2-possession game.
Yeah, we've seen Auburn come back before. We saw it 2 weeks ago right here at the Duck against Vestavia Hills. But, you know, this Auburn team just needs to continue to fight and continue to not let the scoreboard attract them.
See a little bit of confusion here. Maybe looks like they're calling some sort of.
We want to talk to Coach Etheridge. I think he's frustrated that they didn't call him stepping out of bounds earlier. That's kind of what we've seen. Like at least some of the players indicate. I saw Greg Williams pointing at the sideline, but Something has to be going on right here. I don't see any team taking a timeout, but they might be looking at the turf. What? Yeah, I don't know.
It looks like maybe it looks like they're taping up one of the officials here as an official's timeout. Maybe some sort of injury there at the end of the play.
Yeah, I hope our Zebras are all right. Being an official, especially this late, when a call can end a season or save a season, you've got to be sharp. And so hopefully all of our officials are good to go, and looks like they are. They're going to spot the ball, and we're going to play some football.
Yeah, so just a little bit of a injury there from the official, but looks like he's okay, so we'll be able to play some football here. And Opelika 1st and 10 from the Auburn 45-yard line. Opelika trying to score, make this a 2-possession game. Now Cooper gonna hand this one off, has Johnson, but Johnson's gonna break a few tackles, but it looks like he will get nothing there, maybe a yard if anything.
Yeah, that's senior leader Alex Gampston, just a run stopper right there. Able to swallow up Johnson for the stop. Gampston had 6 tackles against Daphne.
3 fumble recoveries.
Yeah, this senior group of linebackers is the best in the state of Alabama, in my opinion. Just some dogs back there.
Yeah, me and you, James, earlier, we're talking about how this Auburn defense is probably one of the best defenses in the state of Alabama as well.
Definitely.
Now Cooper gonna throw this one to the outside. Has a man wide open. It's gonna be a first down there for the Bulldogs. And that's Jalen Washington lined up at running back, and he's in there. He just caught that wheel route you saw, able to pick up a first down.
He's been all over tonight.
Yeah, he sure is quick. Getting that pitch out there just beats out a quick linebacker in Greg Williams. They keep getting the ball in the playmaker's hands. They're going to be hard to stop.
And now 1st and 10 here, almost deep in Auburn territory. And now Cooper going to hand this one off here. Looks like Johnson there going to carry it for a few yards. Maybe looks like about 4 here on the carry. Opelika, like I said, trying to make it a 2-possession game. And if you're Auburn, you really got to get a big stop here late in this first half.
Like to see some pressure, especially, maybe make Cooper uncomfortable if they're going to drop back and throw.
Yeah, so 2nd and 7 here. Picked up 3, actually, so looks like they gave him less of a yard than I thought. So now Cooper going to throw a little screen pass, but actually has no one open, so Cooper going to run it, and he's going to be brought down, maybe picked up 2 on that carry. And you see a little bit of some words exchanged there in the middle.
Yeah, these are 2 rivals, and in a playoff atmosphere, anything goes. They've played once in the playoffs before. The Dogs won it 8-7, just a low-scoring game, unlike what we're seeing here today. But the playoff atmosphere so far has favored Opelika. Funny enough, that was in 2012. Brian Moore, the head coach for the Dogs, was the offensive coordinator for that game. And yes, not a lot of offense scored during that one, and it's a lot different now.
So no gain on that last run play. So now Cooper has a big decision to make here. It looks like he's going to hand it off to the Hammer, but he's brought down, and a great defensive stand there from the Tigers. Aiden Parker comes up with a big tackle.
Big stop from Aiden Parker. Just reading that defense so well, that trick play, they've run it a couple times. They can do different things with it. It's kind of an option play. This offense still waiting out there to see what Opelika will do, but a great heads-up play from Aiden Parker. Just getting that tackle for a loss.
Yeah, it looks like they're sending the field goal unit on. Reese Beasley, the junior, one of the better placed kickers in the state of Alabama, so would not be surprised if they could convert here, but he missed one late against Hewitt Trustful, so anything's on the table right here. Maybe the special teams can get a win right here for Auburn. They're going to take their final timeout.
Yeah, it looks like it will be timeout there. So far 21-14 with 1:36 here. Opelika trying to make it a 2-possession game with a field goal. And this is a big opportunity for Auburn to maybe get a missed field goal. This is a really long one too, so one of the longer ones. And we know it's probably easy for the NFL and college kickers, but for high school kickers, I mean, this is a really long field goal to kick.
Yeah, but as you were saying, Tripp, Reese Beasley, one of the better kickers in the state of Alabama, is getting looked at by the likes of a lot of SEC schools, going on some visits, but he's got the leg for it. We'll just see if he can get it when it really matters most.
Yeah, definitely. And Auburn right here, they have an opportunity. Opelika does get the ball to start the second half, so preventing being down potentially 3 scores in the third quarter. If Opelika can kick a field goal here, then go and score a touchdown, that is going to be so important. They've got to win the middle 4. If they can win that, maybe prevent Opelika from scoring more than 1. If they can prevent a score in either the first drive of the third quarter or the last drive of the second quarter, they can get back into this ball game because they have the firepower and the talent to do so. It's just they have to have the heart.
Yeah, so 4th and 7 here. Opelika still in their huddle, but they're going to obviously bring out the field goal unit. And like I said, this is a really long field goal, so Auburn, gonna have to be able to maybe even block this one if they can, which would be really big for Auburn.
Yeah, looks like it could be closer. They're running fast. They're maybe trying to run a trick play right here. I'd be careful. Especially with no timeouts, Auburn cannot stop it if they can't.
Yeah, it looks like maybe possible here, and it looks like Opelika probably trying to just draw Auburn off sides on this, and it looks like that's what they were going to do. So Opelika calling their second timeout now, which is really weird. I don't know. Opelika must just be trying to, make it to where Auburn just gets a little confused and jumps off sides, but
it's a 46-yarder, so maybe it's just outside of his wheelhouse, but 5 yards can make the difference trying to move it up. So I like that by Coach Moore. You still have another timeout in your bag in case you need to stop the clock if you have a chance of getting the ball back. But Auburn just has to be able to stay poised, and that's what they did right there. A small victory.
And you see the fans there on the Jumbotron. They see themselves there on the Jumbotron at Duck Sanford Stadium.
Hopefully there's a lot of future Tigers All-Americans in that front row right there. Maybe some Auburn cheerleaders behind them.
And the student section, the unit packed out tonight. You see for the game.
A lot of these seniors at the front's last game in the Duck. So hopefully they're trying to give everything they've got, every piece of air in their lungs to cheer on the Tigers and make this a raucous environment that was sold out within 2 hours on Saturday. They got to release more tickets.
Yeah, this is a big matchup for 7A playoffs, and definitely probably the top watch tonight here on Friday night. So Beasley coming out again. I mean, let's see if the third time he'll actually get to kick it this time, and this is a big kick.
46 yards.
Snap, the hold is good. Beasley's going to kick this one, and it is going to be no good. Reese Beasley misses the kick, and Auburn stays alive and is only 1 score down. So Reese Beasley, you guys said that he'd only missed 1 kick. Now that's 2 on the season here.
Yeah, just a little wide left. But I'm looking at the clock in a minute 30. The Tigers can definitely get something going down for offense. Maybe tie this game up right before half. Would love to see it. Casey Myers trotting back out there. It starts with getting the ball to your big-time receivers. He's got to get it to Welch and Askew if he wants to score. Maybe an underrated target. I would love to see Hampton Jordan potentially get the ball. I know he doesn't really come out a lot in the passing game, but who knows? Maybe that's what the Bulldogs least expect.
And now Myers throwing a screen pass here to Kelly. Kelly getting a few yards after the catch there. Looks like they mark him out of bounds, yeah.
And there's a Bulldog down, might be just cramping right here, hopefully. As the trainers come out, getting a little timeout, and that actually probably benefits the Tigers, giving them another chance to breathe and script another 2 or 3 plays before heading back out there and having to run the hurry up.
Yeah, and if you're Auburn, you don't want to score too early here to allow Opelika to possibly get a lead before half, because say you come out of half and it's 24-21, maybe Beasley gets a second chance to kick before halftime, and then Opelika possibly scores. So you could see it be a 10-point game right out of the half, and Auburn does not want that. So just take your time and make an efficient drive out of it and get a score at the end.
Yeah, looks like the injured Bulldog trotting up the field. Good to see he's all right.
And Norman Matthews, the senior,
does not want his season to end tonight. Wants to head up to Birmingham to play either Central or Thompson. So giving everything he's got.
Second down and 6.
So now 2nd and 6 after Levi Kelly picked up 4 on that screen pass. So Levi Kelly, you might hear his name a little bit more tonight with Cash Reef down with an injury. See Myers dropping back here. Has no pressure, starting to feel it a little bit. Myers going to the outside, just going to throw this one out of bounds. Had a receiver right there, so no intentional grounding. Good job by Myers to just throw that one out of bounds.
Yeah, you saw, I think it was either Welch or Askew slips at the top of his route, ran like a deep in route about 15 yards up the field. I think that was the intended target for him. But when he fell down, he had to improvise and just throw it away. And not a lot of time taken off the clock. Maybe you'd like it a little bit more, because if Opelika can take a timeout right here and get the ball back, you could be in trouble.
So 3rd and 6 here. Myers going to drop back, and it looks like it will be a stoppage of play.
Got to be a flag. Probably might be a false start, because with no Auburn has one timeout, so maybe they took a timeout.
Looks like they did take a timeout, or Opelika actually took a timeout before the play, so something Coach Evans did not like. So yeah, Auburn's still down 7 here with 1:16 to play. Just a lot of stoppage here late in this first half.
Yeah, the Opelika, they like to burn the clock out, so this clock has flown by. Looking now at our live looking game, the Red Devils up 14-7 with the ball. They could be trying to put a final nail in the coffin of Thompson, and maybe a little Region 2 supremacy with both teams heading to the championship game.
Yeah, that'd be a big rematch for Auburn, considering Auburn lost 36-0 at home against Central, and they could possibly get revenge on Central in that state championship in 2 weeks. But first, got to win this game, and big 3rd and 6 here for Auburn, with Casey Myers getting ready to hopefully get a first down. So 3rd and 6, like I mentioned before, for the Tigers, trying to get a first down and move the chains. And now Myers gonna fake the handoff here. He's gonna do a QB draw right up the middle, and he's gonna get basically nothing. Huge tackle for loss there by Tremaine Thomas.
Yeah, Tremaine Thomas was all over that. It was not the right read from Kason Myers. He should not have kept that ball. He should have given it to Jaden King. He had that gap right there. Don't really know what the play call was unless they knew they were going for 4th right here, but it looks like they're sending out the punt unit. Unsuccessful sequence of events here from the Tigers after that missed field goal. They might go into halftime down a score.
That's now Joseph Daniel back to punt for the 2nd time tonight. First punt was a pretty good one. We'll see what he can do. Looks like a stoppage of play here, and looks like another timeout. So just another quick timeout. It looks like maybe the clock almost hit 0 there, which would have been a delay of game. So Auburn, just a lot of confusion going on right now here to basically end this half.
Especially on special teams. Opelika has dominated on the special teams, right? Yes, they missed the field goal earlier, but they had the kick return touchdown. The Tigers had to burn a timeout on an extra point earlier, had to burn another timeout on the field goal. So just Auburn, not coaching Keith Etheridge, not managing his timeouts well, in my opinion. Maybe could have bought you another possession if you didn't spend those, but just got to win that phase of the game. I'm reminded of the Chargers back in the early 2000s. They had the #1 offense, #1 defense, last play special teams, and missed out on the playoffs.
Yeah, so Auburn gonna punt this one here. Joseph Daniel, pretty good punt, will be returnable. See if they call fair catch. They will not. Opelika is gonna try to return this one. Has a lot of room, still breaking tackles. Finally brought down. Looks like a late flag comes in there at the end.
Maybe a hold or something? Good tackle by Zay Fulton right there.
Yeah, and if you're Opelika, I wonder if you'll maybe try to score again or just take this one to the half.
Probably going to depend on the penalty. Face mask on the Tigers. That'll move them 15 yards from the end of the run, and now I think they're knocking on the door of field goal range.
Yeah, so Reese Beasley might get another opportunity to possibly get in field goal range and, you know, maybe get another opportunity to even make a field goal and get the Bulldogs to lead by 10 going into half.
Yeah, the Tigers just shoot themselves in the foot right here. There's no need to get that face mask. Hoping to get a stop here, prevent any more scoring.
Now Cooper gonna fire this one deep, has a man, and it is going to be caught. A great catch by the Opelika Bulldogs in coverage, and now the Bulldogs in business.
I think that was a one-hand snag by Dre Vaughn. Bailey gets up maybe to spike it.
Yeah, it looks like it will be a spike by Cooper here with 8 seconds. So interested to see what Coach Evans wants to do. Either can bring out the field goal unit, looks like he will. So this is going to be almost the same sort of field goal we saw earlier, maybe a little closer. But Reese Beasley getting another opportunity, and just not what you want to see if you're Auburn here.
Yeah, I'd still watch out for the fake here. Again, remind shades the 2022 Auburn-Opelika game, the 97th.
It looks like they, yeah, let's see if Reese Beasley maybe be able to get this opportunity. So Beasley going for his second field goal attempt. He's already 0 for 1 on the day. 8 seconds here before the half. The snap, the hold is good, but we'll see. It's going to be short again, and the Tigers block it, and they come up with another huge stop before the half.
Big play there from the Auburn defense and special teams. Really needed that, maybe some momentum going into half, but did not need to see that field goal going through.
Yeah, and the Tigers continue to stay in the fight. I mean, that pick six and that kick return looming large. This Auburn defense has played great after the scripted drive that was scripted up by Coach J.D. Atkins for Opelika. You've really seen the Tigers settle in. They've not allowed a point since then.
Yeah, so 3 seconds here. And you just see Casey Myers going to hand this one off to J.J. King. King making a few men miss, still going. Here goes King down near the 35-yard line. But that's going to do it for first half action in the 101st annual Auburn-Opelika rivalry. Opelika up by 7 going to the half. They will receive to start the second half. But don't go away, folks. When we come back, we'll have halftime coming up shortly.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Dr. Kevin Davis, Superintendent of Opelika City Schools, and Kelly Fisher, Principal of Opelika High School, the Spirit of the South is excited to present their 2025 halftime production, Guardians of the Galaxy. Musical selections include Hooked on a Feeling, Mr. Blue Sky, Escape, and Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Drum majors, is your band ready? And now, let's hear it for the Spirit of the South. Opelika High School Spirit of the South is led by staff members Tyler Bailey, Irvin Coleman, Jared Kimbrough, Jeannie Sconyers, Benjamin Spence, and Jamal Trimble. Box Run Director is Dr. Elizabeth Gibbs. The Middle School Director is Brianna Coleman. Associate Director of Bands and Director of Percussion is Mike McGlynn. The Director of Bands is Will Wagner. The Opelika Spirit of the South band students and staff want to thank our band parents and the community for their continued support. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Dr. Kristen Herring, Superintendent of Auburn City Schools, Dr. Gregory Moore, Principal of Auburn High School, and Director of Bands, Miss Deanna Marshall, we present the Auburn High School Marching Band and their 2025 production, Up in the Air. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Emma Stackhouse, Avery Moore, Isaiah Nash, and Trey Doyle. Drum majors, is the band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the Auburn High School Marching Band. Marching Band. And staff includes Sean Geiger, Joshua Wine, and Kim Chenier. Visual instructors Gregory Stringer. Auxiliary instructors are Emma Vaders, Michelle Bloom, and Megan Greer. Percussion tech staff are Corbin Williams, Eric Moore, and Josh Bird. The Auburn High School Marching Band wants to continue to encourage you to visit our concession stands this evening, run by the Auburn Band Boosters Association. All proceeds from the concession stands directly support the band programs at East Sanford School, Auburn Junior High School, and Auburn High School.
Hello everyone and welcome back for some second half action between the Auburn Tigers and the Opelika Bulldogs. Currently, Opelika leading 21-14. I'm Reese Kinder, alongside me, my color analyst, James Tiffins and Trip Upton. Great first half from Opelika. Kind of a questionable first half from Auburn. But James, what did you like from both teams in that first half?
Yeah, Opelika just came out and just punched Auburn right in the mouth, and it just never looked back. Auburn struggled offensively except for that first Casey Myers drive. Haven't really been able to get anything going. The injured Casey Myers can't really take any of those deep ball shots down the field. You're going to have to figure something out, some second half adjustments, but Opelika scored off these kick returns and pick sixes. That's the reason they're up in this game. So if we tone some of those down, get a couple stops and some scores, I'll be right back in this thing.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the scoreboard with it, Opelika's offense has only scored 7 points. It was on the first drive of the game for the Dogs. So it's really just very impactful to see what's going on. So that's could be really, really big. Just keeping the defense at bay. So, okay, so that we just got word that there's currently no ambulance at the stadium, so we're just going to be sitting here waiting for that to start. We just got word, so it will be here. So once that starts, that means that there will be one. So we're just waiting so that in case everything is okay, that is per our friends over at Tiger Connections. So shout out them.
Yeah, and it looks like one maybe just arrived, because it looks like we will get ready to kick this one off here. Joseph Daniel gonna kick this one off here for Auburn, getting ready to start this second half. Auburn and Opelika, the 101st annual rivalry here in Doug Sanford Stadium. We're ready for some second half action here shortly as Joseph Daniel gets ready to boot this one away.
Kick team's got to be ready. You cannot allow another kick return to get the Dogs into position and give them a short field. I would love to see him kick a touchback right here.
And that was a good touchback there from Joseph Daniel. You called it there, Trip. So the Auburn defense coming out here along with the Opelika offense. Opelika, Whit Cooper, the quarterback, the sophomore, has done a really good job. And just kind of, Trip, tell us about that a little bit, how Whit Cooper's been able to adjust this game.
Yeah, Whit Cooper, I mean, he's really thrived off the play action. The Dogs able to set up the run with C.J. Johnson, Blake the Hammer Johnson, and Jalen Nelson. They've been able to do that. Whit's been able to get a couple runs himself, but that front physical O-line, they've won in the trenches thus far, and that's allowed Jalen Washington and Dre Van to get open on the outside and make some big plays. But Auburn's defense has played well. They just need to continue to settle in and continue to just get the ball back and ignore the scoreboard.
Yeah, so 1st and 10 here to start. Cooper going to throw a screen pass to the outside to Johnson. Johnson's going to be brought down there on the outside. A great tackle there by B.J. McGee. Actually, Isaac Benford there on the tackle.
Yeah, just using Johnson in all phases of this offense with the run game, pass game, really dynamic receiving back of like the Bulldogs have.
Yeah, they're bringing out Colt Dixon right now, the tight end. Both Johnson and Dixon in the game. Would not be surprised if this is a run. Look to see both those guys maybe flipping to the other side in motion.
So second medium here for the Bulldogs. Now Cooper going to throw to the backfield again to Johnson. Johnson has a lot of blockers, but he's going to be brought down by Aiden Parker there. We'll see if they mark him short of the first down or maybe give him the extra yardage, and it looks like they will give him the first down.
And just another great play by C.J. Johnson. He's really been the star dog on this offense right now. So Auburn's got to find an answer. Those linebackers have to be aggressive. Guys like Greg Williams, Aiden Parker, Alex Gamson, maybe Will Lee. He played a lot of good snaps earlier in the season, so needed somebody to step up here.
Yeah, so now 1st and 10 here. Opelika move those chains. They're just past the 30-yard line now. Cooper going to drop back, has some pressure, going to fire it, and it is going to be incomplete, just a little bit too high for Van there, who was the intended receiver. But a good pass by Cooper, but just some more air on that one.
Yeah, I love what Scott Goolsby drew up here. You see number 2, Cortez Cooks, bringing the pressure on the blitz, the DB, pressuring this young quarterback. A little flustered here. Wasn't able to deliver the ball where it needed to be, just over him. Great job with this Auburn defense.
Yeah, Vaughn had a one-handed catch earlier in this one, so tried to go 2 for 2 right there, but just a little too high, and a great play right there by Isaac Benford, just knocked that ball away at the end.
So now 2nd and 10 here. Now Cooper going to fake the handoff again. It's to to Van there, and Van misses that one again. So another high throw from Whit Cooper there on his second pass attempt. this sequence, and now it's going to be a 3rd and long for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Auburn crowd putting their weight behind the guys. They are telling them to get loud. The unit is raucous. The band is playing. You can hear it all the way over from our control room. Duck Sanford is rocking.
Yeah, so 3rd and 10 here for the Bulldogs, and Witt Cooper's got a huge decision to make. And now Cooper going to fake the handoff once again. He's going to fire this one. Has a man open, but it's batted away and incomplete there. Some great coverage, and Van misses that one, so 3 pass attempts to Van, and he is not able to hang on to that one.
Yeah, that one looked like it was coverage from the junior Logan Sirico. Actually, it was Isaac Benford, the senior, just getting in there, strapping up. Great stop from this Auburn defense. It's just what they needed.
Yeah, folks, that's what you call a seat belt right there. The Tigers strapping them down.
And so now the punt team for the Bulldogs coming out for the first time tonight. So going to punt this one away is Beasley, and it's a pretty good punt. Has a lot of air. This one's going to take a bounce, actually an Auburn bounce towards almost near the 30-yard line. Looks like the 26 is where it'll be marked at. So we will see Auburn's offense to start this second half. A lot of question marks coming in this game. Casey Myers was injured, and then J.D. Pate comes in. And James, just tell us a little bit about Casey's performance in the first half.
Yeah, Casey looks great, throwing and running the ball. Wasn't able to execute some of those plays down the field. The Opelika defense has been all over Casey Myers. He's been under duress, but still able to make some plays. He's really got to get a drive going, but I think it starts with the run game, getting the ball to J.J. King.
Yeah, certainly, and now Myers going to hand this one off to King, and King is going to get nowhere. He looks like he might lose a few, actually, and a great tackle for loss there by the Bulldogs, and it looks like King may be down. Looks like he is down there on the ground, so J.J. King injured on that play.
Not good.
Yeah, I mean, Tremaine Thomas and Lakeedrick Burtz just came off of that left side and just absolutely ran him into the turf. Just poor blocking right there to call a spade by that offensive line for Auburn. So,
yeah, and Auburn trying to, just get back in this game. You see the unit here waiting to see if J.J. King's okay. But, yeah, a great stop from Auburn to start this second half, and then the Auburn offense just needs to get things going after that 2-yard loss.
Not what you want to see if you're an Auburn Tigers fan. Star running back J.J. King looks like he's running off the field. That's a good sign. But Cash Reef and now J.J. King looking to get both of them back.
Yeah, and I mean, again, you cannot stay behind the chains against this Opelika defense, especially with, we don't know the amount of arm strength that with the injury that Casey Myers has. He is not going to be able to push it up the field as much as he'd probably like to. So it's imperative that Tigers stay in front of the chains here, but maybe try to get 7 or 8 right here.
So now Myers empty set here. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Myers going to draw back, has some pressure, going to fire it up the middle, but it's almost a catch. Antonio Welch just out of the reach of him, and that is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, just a brutal play right there as you see J.J. King run back out in the field. I'd love to see him maybe in the receiving game right here. We saw him earlier get a big play on one of those Texas routes, faking out and coming back inside against the middle of the defense. Maybe force a guy like Emmanuel Stone to make a decision and just flood that middle zone.
And so now 3rd and really long here for the Tigers. 3rd and 12, deep in their own territory. Now a man in motion. And Myers going to drop back, has a lot of pressure. Myers has time, going to fire, and it's intercepted. No man open, and Opelika is going to return this one, and he's still going down near the 15-yard line. A big interception there for the Bulldogs, their 2nd of the night.
There's Emmanuel Stone. Just Myers had a ton of time in the pocket, could not find anyone, forced that pass in there. Emmanuel Stone picks it off and takes it to scoring territory for the Bulldogs. Not what you want to see if you're an Auburn Tigers fan.
Yeah, Opelika knows there's blood in the water, and it's continuing this defense trying to bail this offense out, but with 11 yards to go, or 15 yards to go from the goal line, how much longer can this defense hold on before this game breaks wide open?
So now Witt Cooper and the Opelika offense out here in the red zone to start. Cooper going to hand this one off to Johnson, and Johnson's going to pick up a few, still going, pushing his way to get about 5 yards on that carry.
Put his head down and ran through the defender, just keeping his legs moving. Auburn's got to start hitting low, taking his legs out from under him. Not dirty, of course, obviously, but just stopping him in his tracks. not low man wins.
Now Cooper going to hand it off to Johnson again. Johnson as a whole still going, breaking tackles. Johnson finds his way. Looks like they will actually mark him down just short.
I don't agree with that spot. I thought that was a touchdown. Great run on the counter right there. But
looks like a flag, yeah. Flag in the backfield here, so looks like maybe a holding. So this play probably will not count.
And that's a big break for this Auburn offense, especially with the field goal block unit looking as well as they did. If they can hold them to potentially taking 3, you never know what could happen.
Yeah, we'll see if Auburn can get a big stop here. And Opelika looks like moving back, so yeah, it probably was a holding penalty. We'll see for the official call.
Yeah, we've seen all year when the defense has their backs against the wall like this, they've been able to come up with some turnovers. Colin King, the interception against Vestavia, just these big momentum switching plays. We would really love to have one of those right about now.
2 turnovers thus far for Opelika. Auburn has yet to get 1. That's got to change right here if they even want to stay competitive.
Yeah, so now it's going to be a really long second down here, almost back near the 30-yard line. Looks like the 25, so Opelika out of the red zone now, so great news for Auburn on this play. It's going to be a 2nd and 20.
Would not be surprised to see them keep this on the ground or take the screen play right here.
Yeah, so now you see the hammer Johnson back in the backfield here, and he has brought down a great tackle there by, it looked like Greg Williams and BJ McGee, both getting the big man, the fullback down there.
Yeah, 6 feet, 200 pounds. That he's just a ball of energy, and he's going to be able to hit people very hard. So it took 2 Tigers to bring him down, but now sitting here on 3rd and long, the field goal troubles today for Opelika. The Tigers might be able to pin their ears back and send a blitz here.
So now 3rd and a mile for this Bulldogs team. 3rd and 20 here, and Auburn's defense got to really step up big. Cooper going to hand this one off here to Johnson. Johnson going to the outside. He is stuffed under, and he's going to be brought down by all the Tigers defense. Greg Williams and Isaac Benford getting in there and now pushing him back. And you see a lot of words being said there between Auburn and Opelika, but a great stand for this Tigers defense.
These schools only separated by 3 miles as the crow flies. These kids have grown up competing against each other in Pee-wee, in middle school and JV, and now varsity for their respective squads. So, there's no love lost between these 2 schools, and a lot of respect for each other, obviously, but there's nothing more than either the Bulldogs or the Tigers want to do than win this one.
So Reese Beasley coming out to kick. He is 0 for 2 tonight. The field goal struggles have been real, and we'll see if Beasley can put this one up and through. So Beasley's kick is going up, and we'll see. It looks like it will be no good off the goalpost there, and that's going to be missed. And the Tigers special teams, 3 missed field goals tonight, and another big stand keeps Auburn in this game.
My goodness, getting another break off the missed field goals. The Tigers have to do something on offense. They've got to answer back with a score. Opelika is just giving them this game right now. The offense has got to come out here and show some resilience and go down and score. Great stand by the Auburn defense.
Yeah, we've said it all year. This team plays well. They've allowed, they're 3-2 when allowing more than 10 points. They're undefeated when out. That's more than half the season. 7 games holding their opponents less than 10. They know how to play ball.
Now Myers going to take this one himself. Still going near the 30-yard line. Gets a big QB draw run to open this drive.
Love to see the power read option right there. Kason Myers, this is what worked against the Vestavia Hills and Daphne. These power runs, forcing the Opelika defense to respect the box inside and allow the Auburn wide receivers wide open access.
And now Myers going to throw a screen pass to the outside. Has a man. It's Joshua Askew. He's going to pick up about 2 yards on that screen pass. The Tigers going to be faced with a second, actually looks like 1 yard, so 2nd and 9 here for the Tigers offense. So Myers an empty set yet again. You see 4 receivers down at the bottom of your screen here. Looks like they did give him that extra yard, so Myers going to throw it. Has a lot of time, steps up in the pocket. Myers running, looks like he backs up and he gets sacked. A huge sack for this Bulldogs defense.
Tremaine Thomas again. If he would have kept going, he might have been able to fall forward for 3 or 4 more yards. Instead, shoots back and loses 2. Now it's going to be 3rd and long, and Auburn, again, not staying in front of the chains. It seems like Groundhog Day, because now it's 3rd and very long, 3rd and 10.
Yeah, so 3rd down and long, like you said there, Trip. A big chance for Auburn to move the chains. Casey Myers gets it. He has pressure, going to throw it to J.J. King, and J.J. King is brought down with a huge tackle there from the Bulldogs, and it is going to be a punting situation, it looks like, here for the Tigers. It looks like a Bulldog down.
I mean, just not what you want if you're the Auburn offense. Myers gets the 1st down with his legs, but then just gets sacked. Looks like we have a Auburn injury on the field. Well, Opelika, he's getting up. But yeah, this Auburn offense just continuing to struggle. Gotta regroup, get in that huddle, get Casey Myers, get the ball to his receivers in some way, whether it's screens, jet sweeps. Got to push the ball down the field.
So Daniels out to punt for the 3rd time tonight. Seen him, so we'll see if he can pin Opelika deep here on this punt. Now Daniels' punt is going to be nearly blocked. That was a scare there. It looks like it maybe was a little bit, and Auburn's going to corral it. Looks like at the 41-ish yard line, maybe the 40, or actually the 35-yard line there, maybe the 36. So a good punt there for Daniels. Almost ran into him, Opelika. But we're going to get to see Opelika's offense yet again. They got a good start of their drive last time, but the penalty backed them up and ended up missing another field goal. So Reese Beasley 0 for 3 tonight, but the Bulldogs got to come out here and possibly get a score.
Yeah, I mean, they've been great pretty much from the 20 all the way down to the 20, but once they get inside there, they've been struggling truly. Really haven't seen much from this offense, but with the special teams and the defense playing as well as they are, they don't need a lot.
And now Cooper going to hand this one off here and going to run this easily. Opelika just able to get past midfield with a huge run.
Jalen Nelson on that carry had 40 yards against Baker last week, filling in for the injured Jordan Waits.
So now the Bulldogs in Auburn territory here, getting past midfield. Looks like at the 47-yard line. Now going to hand it off. Here again, you see Nelson just carrying his way, just able to run.
Yeah, just Opelika totally winning the time of possession in the 2nd half. Able to run the ball really well, using this tempo. Offense just to run the ball, moving the ball down the field.
Now 2nd and 5 here. It's Cooper going to fake the handoff, and it looks like actually will hand that one off. And still bouncing off defenders is Nelson. And Nelson picks up the 1st down. And Opelika getting deep in Auburn territory.
Just the run game starting to come alive at the worst time for Auburn. Opelika just continuing to pound the rock down low, and just it's starting to be concerning if you're Scott Goolsby in this defense. If they get a touchdown right here, go up 14 points with the way your offense has been playing, that might be enough to put this game out of reach.
Yeah, still 1 quarter to play, so this game's not out of reach yet at all. So only a 7-point game, but Opelika driving currently, and now Cooper going to hand this one off, but he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. A huge tackle for loss by Elijah Scott.
There he is. We haven't called his name yet. Interviewed him earlier this week. Really talented kid. 4 sacks against Daphne. Number 27, the junior. Just getting off the ball really well. Getting back there. Getting the tackle for a loss. That's Elijah Scott. Big stop. Need more of that for this Auburn defense.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it right there on the left side of that offensive line. Number 72 and number 73, Julian Pritchett and Jeremy Dillard for the Dogs just messed up their blocking assignments, and Elijah Scott able to go right through.
Now Cooper going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson making a few miss, still going, but Johnson brought down just short of the chains, maybe gained about 6 on that carry.
Yeah, this running back room tonight for Opelika has been dominant. Running back coach Ben Landers, he's been with the program for a long time. I was able to do a feature article about him for a class I had in the spring. Great human being, great leader. In this running back room, he's got a lot to be proud of tonight.
So 3rd and medium here for the Bulldogs, 3rd and 5. And Cooper gets Auburn to jump off sides, and it is the veteran Parnell Jackson jumping off sides, and that's going to give Opelika the 1st down.
Not what you need, not what you need. Auburn shooting themselves in the foot right now.
And so now Opelika able to move the chains and get to the 21-yard line, just 1 yard outside the red zone.
Would not be surprised to see an inside run right here, especially the Tigers just subbed out Carnell Jackson. Quinn Eccles in now, and Quinn, a good human being and a good football player, but just doesn't have the size of Carnell Jackson, so I would not be surprised if Opelika takes advantage.
Now Cooper going to hand it off to Johnson again. Johnson makes a few people miss. He's going to be brought down there by Aiden Parker and Quinn Eccles coming in on the secondary tackle.
Good stuff. You see Corbin Fears, the center for Opelika, go flying at the end of that one.
He saw a 5-yard pickup there from Johnson. Actually, a 6-yard pickup. Now 2nd and 4 here for the Bulldogs at the 15. Now going to hand it off to Johnson again, and he is brought down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe gained a yard on that one. Looks like he did pick up a yard. So it's going to be 3rd and 3.
That was Coach Goolsby. I'd definitely send the house here. Definitely need to tackle for a loss. Be a big stop.
Would not be surprised to see the hammer in motion right here. Maybe that little like pitch upside the inside.
Now Cooper tries to get him to jump off sides again.
Good discipline.
So 3rd and 3 here for the Bulldogs, trying to make this either a 14-point game or a 10-point game, and we'll see what they can do. And it looks like it's going to be a false start, or maybe it looks like a timeout actually by Opelika. So Opelika calls their first timeout of the second half. Right now, 2:22 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Opelika currently leading Auburn 21-14. But so far, Auburn and Opelika just trading blows on defense. And you know, guys, what does Auburn need to do to get back into this thing?
Yeah, Auburn's offense has got to be rolling. You know, they're just nowhere to be found in the second half, and just really in this whole game. I mean, just can't really seem to get anything going. Have no momentum. Casey Myers has got to get comfortable in that pocket. Offensive line's got to give them the time to get it to those dynamic guys that we know can make plays and have made plays all year. This defense playing well, hands on hips, got to be a little tired. This Opelika offense just running the ball at a very great rate, chewing a ton of clock. But the Tigers have got to get a stop here and flip the script and go score.
Yeah, you stole the words right out from my mouth, James. The time just dripping away with these short runs, and Opelika maybe could take this thing into the 4th quarter if they play the clock right here. Just Auburn's got to have the ball bounce their way on defense, because this offense right now is just absolutely steamrolling them.
Yeah, so 3rd and 3 here for the Bulldogs, trying to convert to keep the chains moving. You can see Johnson in the backfield at running back, a man in motion now. And it looks like it's going to be to the fullback, Johnson, but it's going to be brought down just short. Looks like gained a yard there was Blake Johnson, the hammer, but he's brought down. It looks like they're going to bring out the field goal unit.
Yeah, that was a good play by this Auburn defensive line. Again, I talked to Cam Creighton earlier today. He said it very plainly. If we lose the trenches, we're losing this game. Auburn trying to gain ground on that. And now the field goal unit coming out. Beasley struggled, but it's from short here at a bit of an angle. But maybe, again, watch out. Make sure there's nothing funny with 4th and 2 on this field goal attempt.
So now Reese Beasley coming out. He's 0 for 3 tonight. And Auburn trying to make him jump off sides possibly. And Beasley's kick, it looks like it will be up and through. So Opelika expands their lead to 10 here, 24-14 with 1:38 to play in the 3rd quarter. We'll get to see Auburn's offense next, but Opelika able to get down there quickly and answer after, you know, Auburn's struggles just continue.
Yeah, C.J. Johnson just really taking over this game for the Bulldogs. That combination of C.J. Johnson, Jalen Nelson, and Blake Johnson, just those power backs back there, able to just cruise the ball down the field, barely even having to pass the ball ever. Ends in a field goal, points on the board, but just really just dominating this Auburn defense.
Yeah, you have it exactly right, James. And I mean, it's really got to be frustrating. You have to think of the psychological impact this is having. Hey, we know that they're running the ball. We know that they're going to hand it off up the middle or on a counter, or on a sweep, every single play, but it's not getting stopped. That has to take a psychological toll on this defense. They've got to reset their mindset, ground themselves, and find new motivation, saying like, hey, we've got to get a stop right here. It doesn't matter. Make Wick Cooper beat you, not the talented trio of Bulldog backs.
Yeah, now Opelika gonna bring the kickoff unit out there, so they'll kick this one away. Beasley's kick so far tonight, it's had a touchback almost every time, so Beasley's gonna kick this one away. And that one's going to be a touchback sail to the back of the end zone. So we will see Kason Myers and the Auburn offense come out there. Kason Myers and the offense has really struggled as of recently. They've just not been able to do much tonight. But we'll see if they're able to get something going and possibly get Auburn back in this game. Auburn starting from the 20 here after that touchback. So 1:38 to play in this third quarter. Auburn still has a lot of time here. Still has 12 minutes in the next quarter to come back. And Myers, snap is low. Myers going to draw back here. He has a lot of pressure, and he's going to be brought down. He's still trying to make a play, but he was brought down at the end of it. And there is a flag over there in the backfield behind the line of scrimmage, so I wonder if that might be a holding.
Yeah, they'll probably decline this if it is on the Tigers, since they've already got pretty much the yardage that they would have gained from the hold, and maybe even a little bit more because it would be half the distance, but just frustrating if you're an offensive line coach for these Tigers. They're just getting dominated in the trenches on both sides. It's just been really frustrating to see if you're Coach Etheridge trying to get to a state championship game.
Yeah, we'll see here what the flag, who it's on. It looks like it will be a holding against Auburn. You called it there, Trip, and that won't be declined, so it'll be second and really long here. And Kason Myers has no pocket vision there, just not able to see the lineman closing the pocket, and you saw that he just, the pocket collapsed and, wasn't able to get it out. It's going to be a second and really long here for the Tigers with an empty set in the backfield, second and 18 to be exact. Now Myers going to draw back here. Going to fire it up the middle, but it's incomplete. Out of reach for B.J. Collins. Now going to be a third and 18 here for the Tigers.
If you're Coach Keith or offense coordinator Will Wagner, you got to be thinking Kason Myers just does not look as poised as he usually does. Maybe it's that shoulder or something. We've got to think of something, maybe a spark, maybe throw JD back out there. The Tigers need something. Just can't get anything going on the offensive side of the ball.
Exactly the words I was about to say, James. I love it. We just needed something different here.
So now Myers going to drop back, has a lot of pressure, and have to just throw this one as a check down route to King. King slips, makes a man miss, and a crazy juke move, but gets back a little past the original line of scrimmage, so it looks like it will be a fourth down and about 9 maybe.
Yeah, great play right there. Watch this one little check down out of the backfield. Gets the man to miss. Uses the little slippery turf. That's because of the rain to his advantage. But on fourth and long right here, looks like they're sending the punt unit out. If you were maybe another 10, 15 yards up, I'd say you maybe look to go for it here. But just given the fact of what's going on, I think you have to punt. But how much longer can you do that?
Yeah, Daniel's coming out for the 4th time tonight, and he's going to punt this one away. A deep punt here from Joseph Daniel. Has a huge leg. Opelika are going to try to corral this one. Actually, no, they're going to just let it bounce. Looks like it's going to bounce to the 30-yard line here, so just about to end the third quarter with 46 seconds left. Opelika, that offense going to come back out again, and you got to think if Opelika scores one more time, this game's probably over.
I agree with you, Reese. I mean, just the Auburn offense has really struggled. They were able to respond well early, but just since then, since that kick return, that kind of has sucked all the air out of the building. Yes, the unit's been loud. They've tried to get the Tigers back into this game, but the Opelika crowd making it known too. I mean, there's a reason this is a sellout. It's because they've traveled super, super well. You can see all the black on the visitor side, so they've made their impact as well.
So now Cooper going to hand this one off to Johnson. Johnson has a huge hole, still fighting and nearly getting a first down. Looks like he got about 7 on that gain.
These linebackers have to get more involved at the line of scrimmage with this run game. That's what you've really seen. That's taken it to the 2nd or 3rd level to bring down Johnson, and Nelson. Just sounds like a law firm right there. Just absolutely thrashing this Auburn defensive line in this front 7. The linebackers just got to get more involved, and that's not happening right now, especially since they're losing the trenches.
Yeah, this looks like could be possibly the last play of the third quarter. Maybe Opelika is going to take it to the 4th quarter. Yeah, we'll see. Looks like that's what they'll do. And Opelika with a 10-point lead, upsetting Auburn going into the 4th quarter. And Auburn looks like to be in trouble here. But we're going to take a quick break. But don't go away, folks. When we come back, we'll have some 4th quarter action. Hello everyone and welcome back for some fourth quarter action between the Auburn Tigers and the Opelika Bulldogs for this 101st Opelika-Auburn matchup. And that's a quick pass to the outside here to Johnson, and that's going to be a first down. I am Reese Kinder. Alongside me, James Tippins and Trip Upton. How you guys doing?
It would be better if the score was flipped a little bit, but the Bulldogs, I mean, they're playing good football, right? Their offense has finally settled in. They're running the ball well. Auburn cannot stop the run tonight. Meanwhile, the Tigers on offense has had nothing going. Myers, who was already banged up, he came in after the pick six from JD Pate, but maybe it's time to look back at JD. Just really struggling on both sides of the ball, especially at the trenches.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Trip. Definitely need that spark. Maybe it starts with the defense with the turnover, but Opelika right now just dominating on that side of the football with CJ Johnson. Just can't seem to stop the run.
And now going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson breaks a hold of the 50 to the 40 to the 30 to the 20 to the 10, and Opelika puts the exclamation point almost on this game, and CJ Johnson carries it for a huge run-in touchdown.
That's what he does, and this is this Opelika team does. They love to run that 20-21 personnel. They like to run the ball and be physical. That's what they build on, right? And that's exactly what they've done tonight. You know, Opelika, they're a good ball club, and after that touchdown, it might be starting, you know, don't want to take a look. I mean, Auburn, we've seen them. They've scored 21 points in the fourth quarter before, but just, you know, might want to start, hey, what's going on down in Phoenix City? That's might be what if I'm Brian Moore, I at least have that in the back of my head. I got to push that thought out and finish this ball game because the Auburn offense can come alive at any time, unlikely as it may be, but just absolutely a thrashing thus far from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and Beasley's point after is up and through, so Opelika expands their lead 31-14 now.
Yeah, let's watch this run right here. Just a looks like might have been just a simple, a little bit of a counter, a trap play. You saw the two offensive linemen, the guard and the center, pull right there, and because of that, the Auburn defensive line bit in. They were able to split the block out, and CJ Johnson takes it to the house for the touchdown. I mean, shades of 2012 in the playoffs right now from Doug Sanford Stadium. Opelika won that one 8-7. A lot more points on the board, but just Auburn trying to prevent from going 0-2 all time in the playoffs against Opelika and try to get to maybe 7th in a row against the Dogs, but that's not looking likely now.
Yeah, and Auburn, if they want to win this game, they're going to have to rely on Casey Myers to throw the ball deep, which has not been the answer tonight. And Auburn's going to have to start going for 2 as well if they score. So Auburn just trying to get back in this game. Still has a lot of time, but CJ Johnson might have put that exclamation point on this game.
It's a 3-score lead, so I think even with 2-point conversions, you're still going to need a field goal or safety or something.
Yeah, so now Beasley and the kickoff unit out there going to kick this one away. Beasley's kick, we'll see if it sails to the back of the end zone. It will, again, sail to the back of the end zone. So Auburn's offense coming back out there. Cannot lose momentum if you're Auburn. You got to just, be like you got to have the Vestavia Hills game mentality and just be like, we can win this game if we just play quick and efficient football.
Yeah, it starts with the quarterback play. You got to score early and often, and Myers is going to have to string something together, a big play downfield. You got to think that we're going to start taking shots down the field. Deficit's getting a little too big for my liking, but
maybe attack Jaden Battle instead of throwing at Braden Howard right here. That could be a really big difference maker. Just push the ball down the field.
See, Myers going to throw this one to Joshua Askew, and Askew going to pick up a few yards there on that curl route.
Would like to see Auburn go tempo a little bit more. You said that's kind of the offense they wanted to install earlier in the season, and that's what it's worked. You saw it in Vestavia Hills, but not a lot of tempo, just kind of hands on hips, just being like, hey, what's going on?
So now 2nd and medium here for the Tigers. Low snap. Myers going to drop back here. Going to fire this one to B.J. Collins. Wide open to the 50. Breaks the tackle. Still going near the 40-yard line.
Great play right there by B.J. Collins. Had him on the wheel route. Myers steps up in the pocket and delivers the football. Great play.
Yeah, B.J. Collins, you see here, the junior receiver, right when we needed him most. Casey Myers just puts a little bit under it. Low snap. B.J. Collins, number 1, just floating it there. Big play for the Tigers. First one we've seen in a long time.
Looks like there's a timeout on the field. Dogs are going to take a timeout right here. Maybe they didn't like what was said. And now that Auburn is in Bulldog territory, some signs of life maybe starting to come from the sideline at Doug Sanford Stadium.
Yeah, so now Auburn
penalty.
Yeah, Auburn trying to get things going here with 10:33 to go. The clock is running, so Auburn got to hurry up and call some plays.
Definitely. It's like that. Those shots down the field definitely need to continue that.
It was a good ball, too.
Looked like it actually was an offsides penalty, so 1st and 5 here. Myers going to do a little run here. QB draw up the middle, and he's just taking hits. The ball's fumbled, but it looks like it's going to be Opelika ball, and we'll see what the officials say. I believe they might have marked him down. We'll see what the official marking is. I don't know. They haven't really signaled anything. We'll see the official signal.
Yeah, let's watch this play. That was a boomstick by Lakedrick Burtz on that one, so let's see. I mean, they're talking about it.
Yeah, I believe he was down here on the. Yeah, it looked like he was down. So yes, that will be Auburn ball. Very scary sign there for if you're Auburn. You know, that was a big, could have been a big turnover, but it looks like Auburn will maintain possession, and they are at the Opelika 25 here. And Myers trying to get something going. Myers gonna hand it off to King here. King finds a hole. King still going down near the 20-yard line, picks up 5.
Yeah, great run right there. Love to see him involved on the counter right there. They need to get to the line and snap this football. Anytime that you take off the clock for Opelika, they're going to take every single time. Not a second can be spared.
So it actually was 6 on that pickup there. And now Auburn got to hurry up here. You know, clock is ticking. Now Myers, low snap. Going to fire this one to a man wide open up the middle. It is King. King might have got that first down. Looks like he did by a long shot. So King, Auburn hurrying up here, and Myers getting his offense together.
Yeah, you got to keep that tempo up, getting the ball to Jaden King, playmaker. Keep it going, get it to those playmakers. Got to score quick.
And now King up the middle finds a hole. He dives, and it looks like King will pick up a few yards there. And Auburn got to hurry up here, almost entering the 8-minute mark.
Great to see another play with the offensive lines pulling and pushing. Just a great run right there. Starting the trenches starting to believe, and if the trenches start to believe, the skill position players are going to start to believe. If they believe, Auburn can win this football game.
Now Myers going to fake the handoff here, run it up the middle, and he is brought down on the QB draw.
Big play right there by number 95, Javalian Holloway. So just getting the stop, slowing down a little bit of this momentum, but I'd take a shot right there if you're Auburn.
Yeah, it's something from Casey Myers we've seen twice today. Just looking a little timid, not making the right reads. The second one, he's messed up on a little option play. Should have given that one to Welch. Did not have the hole. Don't know what's going on with Myers so far in this game. Hopefully he could reel it in, string some drives together, and finish this one off.
Yeah, clock running under 10 now.
Now 3rd and medium here for the Tigers. Myers going to pitch this one. Actually run himself. Myers into the end zone. It's a touchdown for the Tigers.
I don't know if y'all heard it, but I know the Tigers, they ain't hear no bell, boys. This is a ball game, a quick score right there. And now, if this offense can start to gain momentum, maybe the defense, if they can get back to first half form and get a stop, Case and Myers starting to heat up. This is a full fight, boys, to try to get to Birmingham.
So now Joseph Daniel trying to make it a 10-point game here, which would be big for the Tigers.
Looks like someone may have jumped.
Now Daniel's kick, it will be up and through. So the Tigers make it a 10-point game after Kason Myers leads the Tigers down the field and runs it for himself and gets the touchdown.
Yeah, Myers just showing his legs off again, even an injured. You see right here, Antonio Welch coming in motion, and then just reading the defense really well. Great hole from the offensive line, taking it up the gun. 6 points for the Tigers. It may be a little too late, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, stranger things happened in this building 2 weeks ago. Great block right there by Jaden Spinks Evans right there, sealing off that safety and allowing Myers. He loves that little power read motion, as you said, James, but Auburn just trying to fight. If they can get a stop, it's a whole new ball game. But if you're Opelika, that's cute. Here's another 3 yards carry for the next 8 minutes.
Yeah, and Auburn still has all 3 timeouts, still has a ton of time. Auburn, we've seen them score in like 1 minute this year. So if they're able to do that, big things can happen. You see the live looking here. Thompson currently up by 14 against Central. And Central, you know, both of those teams could possibly face one of these teams here. And Joseph Daniel going to just basically squib kick, or look like a squib kick there, but it will be returnable, but it will be a touchback here. So we will see the Opelika offense come out with Witt Cooper and, you know, obviously C.J. Johnson, who ran for a big rushing touchdown earlier. If Auburn can get a big stop, then this could be a game.
Yeah, Reese, it starts with the 3 and out. We know what they're going to do. We know they're going to run the ball. If we can get a 3 and out quick here, drive down the field, Myers can lead us to the end zone. Could have a game on our hands, fellas.
Yeah, this reminds me a lot of Vestavia. Auburn was able to match finally on a long drive with the Casey Myers rushing touchdown. And what happened next? Colin King interception. I'd love to see the defense force a turnover right here and get this party started.
Now Cooper going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson has a hole. Johnson gets a few yards, and it looks like he'll be brought down. Maybe picked up 3 or 4 on that carry.
Yeah, just a little bit of some at the pile maybe. Didn't think the ball popped out, but just Johnson just continuing that 3 yards in a cloud of dust offense.
Looks like they might just be sitting on this. Oh, Eli Scott, a little banged up here on this play.
Has to stop the clock there. That's good news for Auburn to stop the clock, but bad news for Auburn as well, as Elijah Scott, one of the best players on this team, on this defense, is down with an injury. And you see the clock stops at 7:51 here, as Auburn's trying to get back in this game, like you guys mentioned. And Auburn, not a lot of time here. It seems like a lot of time with 7 minutes, but in football, that time just kind of tick, tick, tick. If it keeps ticking, it's going to be hard for teams to come back.
Yeah, you've seen it. I mean, they're running the ball. You see Elijah Scott. He's getting off the field, still a little banged up. His night might be over, but the junior defensive end hoping that maybe if the defense can give him a chance, he might be able to come back for a championship game. But they've got to get a stop right here. They've got to maybe get a negative play or force them less than 3 yards, because if you're going to give them 3 yards every time, guess what? They're going to take it.
Yeah, so now 2nd and 7 here. The Tigers defense got to step up big on this 2nd and 7 and maybe get a tackle for loss. And the clock is just running right now. And Auburn's got to hope that they can get some stops. Still have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. And now Opelika gonna probably run this one again here. We'll see Cooper hand it off right up the middle to Johnson, but Johnson only picks up a few there. A good stop from the Tigers. Looks like maybe 1 yard, actually 2 on that. So it's gonna be a 3rd and minimal here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it looks to be about 5 yards here for the first down, but it's not a passing down for Opelika the way they've been running the football. Would not be surprised to see it be hammer time with Blake Johnson right here. He's lined up in kind of that pistol fullback right here. Would not be surprised if he gets the ball.
And you see Cooper looking over to the side here. We'll see if the Bulldogs can maybe do something to get this first down, but a 3rd and 5, a big chance for Auburn to get the stop. Now Cooper gonna fake the handoff, has a pass downfield. Looks like he's gonna fire it, and it's gonna be caught by Jalen Washington for the first down.
Yeah, that's just a brutal play right there for the Auburn defense. Thought they had Cooper corralled, but Witt able to step in and fire to his wide receiver on the little rollout play right there.
Yeah,
So,
Witt Cooper just showing guts. The sophomore kid, 3rd down when they needed it most, keeps this clock running, getting it to his reliable receiver for the first down, and Opelika in the driver's seat right now.
and that clock continues to run. We just were talking about how it's 7:30, felt like 2 seconds ago, but we're under 6:30 for this one. Ball did go out of bounds, so this clock was able to stop, but defense just needs something crazy to happen.
Now Cooper gonna hand it off to Johnson. Johnson finds a hole, still going, and Johnson's gonna get the first down. Huge carry for CJ Johnson.
Yeah, shades of a former Auburn running back, Omar Mabson. No matter what the Tigers are doing, they can't get a stop, and they've just got to settle in and make a play. If they even want a chance at getting this thing to 2nd down or 3rd down and long, the Opelika is staying ahead of the chains super, super well and been able to take everything out of the clock because of it.
Yeah, and the clock now just under 6 minutes a little bit. So Auburn trying to just get a stop, but it doesn't seem like they can right now. Now Cooper gonna hand this one off again to Johnson and brought down there by Aiden Parker. Only picked up a few on that carry. And like I mentioned earlier, guys, I mean, 5 minutes, it's still actually a lot of time. If Auburn gets a stop, they can score with a minute and then maybe get another stop and score with about a minute left too. So this Auburn offense, if they go up tempo, they're able to get back in this game, but they gotta hope but this clock just stops running.
I mean, I think Auburn maybe has 1 or 2 drives left, but every single snap of the football from Opelika is going to be 40 seconds. They're taking this play clock all the way down. Auburn, again, they need a turnover is preferred, but maybe try and force them to the outside. They keep running that inside trap, inside zone. That they're going to keep doing that and keep running the clock.
Yeah, so now 2nd and 8 here for the Bulldogs. Gonna hand it off to Johnson. They're brought down behind the line of scrimmage with a huge tackle for loss. That's Hunter Brown with the tackle for loss there, and that's gonna move Opelika behind the chains. Actually a loss of 4 on that one, so 2nd and 12.
Yeah, Eli Scott goes down. Hunter Brown jumps up. Big play from the senior. That clock is running. They really need to stop here to have any chance. But if you're Auburn, you know they're going to run this football, potentially go for the football. You got to punch it out.
I think they're going to throw it right here. Watch a screen pass or something over the middle so they can stay away from the boundary. Great play by Hunter Brown right there. The senior trying to keep his season alive.
So now the Bulldogs faced with a 3rd and long, the 3rd and 10. Gonna hand it off here, and they're gonna make a hole, but he's gonna be brought down short. Looks like he picked up about 5. So Auburn gets the stop they needed. They just gotta hope that they that this punt unit could come out quickly and get things going. So Auburn's got to score quickly and then maybe get the ball back with about a minute left.
4th and 4, they could go for this. I mean, it's definitely in the wheelhouse because if you go for this, you're now forcing Auburn, hey, maybe we need to look at taking your timeouts if you're the Tigers, but looks like the punt unit coming on. I'd still be wearful of any fakes or any trickeration that could happen, especially with all the up men on the line. Just have to be smart.
So now that clock just winding down here. It's like trying to get a man on the field. And that's actually going to stop the clock now. A timeout from Opelika. So good news for Auburn. Able to stop the clock, so it just stops running now. But bad news for Auburn is there's 3:23 on the clock, and you probably, like you said, Trip, 2 drives left in you, and you just got to hope Opelika doesn't score their next opportunity. And you got to hope Auburn just scores here.
Yeah, I mean, you can settle for a field goal, hypothetically, if you're the Tigers, if you can get into field goal range. Joe Daniel has been pretty solid field goal unit in this past few weeks of the season. However, I would still try to go for a touchdown because if you can get a stop and then maybe score a touchdown, you win the game. You don't have to play for overtime. The Tigers and the Bulldogs have gone into overtime once. Auburn won in double overtime back in the day. So maybe that's a little bit of luck can be on the Tigers' side if they head to the extra periods.
Yeah, so the clock does stop, so it will not run anymore after that timeout from Opelika. So Auburn gets a little bit of an advantage, but this punt could pin Auburn deep in their own territory and have a long, maybe 90-yard drive if it got all the way to the 10.
Again, watch the fake here. I mean, they had time to draw it up.
Yeah, we'll see here. So Beasley punting this one. It looks like it will be an actual punt, so Beasley's punt maybe going to take a bounce here. It's going to bounce into the end zone, so good news for Auburn. They will start at the 20 with 3:15 here to play in this 4th quarter. And now we'll get to see the Auburn offense with Casey Myers coming out here. Casey Myers led the Tigers down the field to score, and Auburn's got to get a score here to get back in this game and maybe even tie it and go into overtime.
Yeah, it's going to have to be really quick. It's going to have to come down to 2 or 3 plays if you want any chance of winning this game or sending it to overtime right here at this drive. And Myers has got to get the ball down the field. I know he's struggling with that shoulder, but he's really got to get the ball to these playmakers in open space, maybe just let them have those yards after catch, but it's going to have to be quick.
I would like to see maybe a play like you kind of saw against Vestavia in the 3rd quarter 2 weeks ago. Antonio Welch, the post route, took it deep and took it 80 yards for the touchdown. Love to see that right again.
Now Myers dropping back here, has a lot of time. Myers got to throw this one, still running around in the backfield. Myers going to throw it downfield. Wide open is Levi Kelly, who caught it, and he's still going. Levi Kelly trying to get out of bounds, but he cannot. Auburn's got to hurry up here, and you see Tucker Alvin, the center, telling everybody to hurry up.
Great play right there by Kelly. He was open, and he was short of the line of scrimmage, so that Kaysen was able to push him to go further, and was able to throw the ball for a first down.
Now Myers dropping back here. Myers going to punt fake. Myers got to throw downfield. Myers going to throw this one to Antonio Welch. Makes a man miss to the 40. Cutting up middle of the field. He's going near the 50, and he's down at the 45-yard line. Auburn's got to hurry up here.
The middle of the field has to be off limits right now for the Tigers. You got to throw towards the sidelines. You got to get out of bounds to not waste those timeouts.
Now Myers dropping back here. Myers has got to throw. Myers trying to find someone. He has Levi Kelly. Levi Kelly near the 50-yard line to the 45, gets out of bounds, so stops that clock.
Into Bulldog territory, and that's exactly what you want. They've been moving the ball fast. They've got to move it faster. When I was on practice on Monday, they practiced this, and a Bulldog down now with an injury. I hope he's all right. Maybe, hopefully just a cramp or something, because I'm sure especially late in this one, you want to make sure everyone's available for the next round for either team.
Yeah, and you see Auburn just trying to get back in this game. They're really close, but definitely a mistake there not getting out of bounds earlier. Levi Kelly and also Antonio Welch, but still some good catches, but they really have to, be efficient. You see the Opelika player getting up now, so good job by Levi Kelly, though, on that last play, getting out of bounds. It looked like near the 43-yard line here of Opelika. So if you're Casey Myers here, you're going to have to throw this ball deep, maybe try one and see if you can get Joshua Askey or Antonio Welch for the connection.
Maybe like a deep comeback route, maybe on the top side of the field, throwing it away from Braden Howard because he's itching for another interception.
A man in motion here. Myers drops back. Myers has got to throw it deep. Myers is trying to find someone. Myers is motioning downfield. He fires this one deep. It's going to be incomplete, nearly caught.
And there's the flag.
And there's a flag late after that. And Joshua Askey was the intended receiver, and that's going to be a flag, and that's going to put Auburn in great field position here with 2:17 to go.
Yeah, just a deep throw. The ball a little bit long, but a penalty helps. That's 15 yards in the right direction. First down, Tigers, and that also stops the clock, which might be the most important part.
Yes, so now Auburn moves up to the 30, or it looks like the 28-yard line here. And the clock does stop, like you said, Tripp, so Auburn can take a lot of time here to just think about a play, but the empty set yet again. Myers dropping back here, has some pressure. Myers got to throw. He throws to the outside. It's caught by Joshua Askew, and he gets out of bounds.
I don't like that throw right there. Yes, it's near the sideline, and yes, it stops the clock. He had 5 open in the middle of the field, and yeah, I know it would have been harder to get out of bounds or have to get on the ball, but he was open. Why not take the few, maybe 5 yards further and take 2 seconds off the clock?
So now empty set yet again. Myers trying to get Auburn in the end zone. So Myers going to drop back here. Has a lot of time. Myers going to fire to the outside. He has a man wide open. It's Levi Kelly. Levi Kelly goes down. He's not out of bounds, but Levi Kelly and Auburn got to hurry here. Getting near the 2-minute mark. The clock will stop for the chains to move, but Auburn's got to hurry up here.
Got to go in the hurry up.
First and goal.
And now empty set yet again. First and goal from the 9. Myers going to take it himself. He's still going. Myers into the end zone. The Tigers are within 3.
Beautiful run right there by Kason Myers, calling his favorite play, the power read option, right through the Opelika middle of the field, running it in. Great blocking by the O-line. This offensive line has settled nicely, and now Auburn just 3 stops away potentially from having a chance to tie or win this game, but they've got to make the extra point right there.
Yeah, great execution right there from the offensive drive. Help out with the penalties. Casey Myers get it to his receivers, able to get out of bounds and not waste any of those timeouts. Minute 44, this defense can step up big, and we can use those timeouts to drive down the field. Great job of this Auburn offense staying in this game.
Yeah, it looks like looks like a Bulldog jumped, but it's going to be, they're going to just decline the penalty, just take the extra point.
And Joe Daniel going to attempt the PAT here. That put Auburn within 3 with 1:44 to play, and Auburn still has all 3 timeouts. So now Daniel, the kick is up, and it is through. So Auburn within 3 with 1:44 to play here in this 101st Auburn and Opelika rivalry, and we got a good one here with almost a minute left to play.
Yeah, watch it again, that power read option, they love it. Maybe Opelika expecting him to throw the ball, especially with the clock running under 2 minutes once they set the chains. Instead runs it, and while that entire Opelika defense was split out wide, he was able to take it right through the heart.
Yeah, and if you're Auburn here, I don't think they'll go for the onside kick. I think they'll probably just kick this one deep and pin Opelika deep and make them, possibly have to run the ball 3 or 4 times, and then Auburn forces a punt, hopefully.
Fellas, I think it's safe to say the momentum has switched. It's just what Auburn needed. Down 3 points. Now, it's going to take a lot, but with good execution, the Tigers can get it done. Starts with the defense, though. Can't give up big plays.
Yeah, it looks like they might be trying an onside kick because, I mean, if Opelika, you're saying, hey, y'all run the ball 3 times, okay, that's fine. We can get 10 yards and 3 rushes the way they've been playing, and especially motivated for potentially icing this one. Auburn just has to do something, and looks like they're going to kick it deep. I like this decision by the special teams, Joe Daniels and Coach Etheridge.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like they'll just kick this one deep. And Daniel going to kind of squib kick that one there, but it's going to bounce to the back of the end zone. So no time taken off the clock or anything. Now we're going to see Opelika's offense come out there, but this Auburn defense as well has to put up a big stop in order to stay alive in this game. They still have all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, I'm calling on all the defensive linemen, a lot, Carnell Jackson, Colin King, Quinn Eccles, Hunter Brown, Micah Bowerstock, everybody, Brennan Barber, Cam Creighton, Elijah Reynolds, just everyone needs to be able to play these next 3 downs and get towards the quarterback and running back. Maybe Opelika takes a shot if they think that they got the safeties in short, but I think you just run commit and play it safe, because why would they go away from what's worked all game?
And now Johnson going to run this one, has a hole. He's still going. Looks like he's going to pick up about 3 or 4 on that gain. Maybe picked up 5 there. So Auburn going to have to take their first time out of the half. And if Opelika gets a first down, that probably does it for the game. And Auburn cannot afford for that to happen.
Yeah, when the lights are the brightest, this is when boys become men, when the stars come out. Who's going to make that big play? Who's going to make that big stop? We're going to get to see that here, but just take a live look in. Thompson handling business with Central.
Yeah, on the road, that's what I said if you watched bracketology earlier. Yes, Central's been the better team in the regular season, but when the playoffs kick in, when the calendar turns to November, Thompson stands up, and that's exactly what they look like they're doing thus far. Maybe a quick play right here, Central can cut the lead. But, I mean, if these 2 scores hold, it's Thompson and it's Opelika. Opelika would be just the 4th team to make the state championship it'd be the first outside of Auburn, Central, and Thompson since, I believe, about 2016 when it was McGill, Tulane, and Hoover.
So now 2nd and 6 here for the Opelika Bulldogs. Have to get the first down to win this game, and Auburn's defense got to come up with a big stop. So the 2 running backs set back there. And going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson going up the middle, and it looks like he might push for that first down. We'll see where they'll mark him. And they're going to mark him as not down, and he's still going. And there goes Johnson down the field, and that is going to do it. Auburn is going to lose this football game.
And the lights just went out across Auburn, Alabama. This side of 85 might have just went to bed. And the Bulldogs going to be heading to the state championship. Shades of 2012, Brian Moore does it again. Just absolutely incredible. This is historic for a multitude of reasons. Now breaks the 6-game losing skid by Opelika. This is Keith Etheridge's first loss to the Bulldogs as well. Coach Moore's first win as head coach in his 2nd year. Just absolutely incredible. Got to give a shout out to this coaching staff, getting these boys prepared, ignoring the game early in the season. And now the Bulldogs just a few snaps away from heading to Birmingham.
Now going to hand it off to Johnson here. Johnson makes a few men miss, and he's going to go down.
Yeah, timeout again by Auburn. Maybe a fumble. We've seen Georgia Tech, Miami a couple years ago where the Canes didn't kneel the ball down and Jackets were able to rip it out and get a long touchdown. That's what maybe Auburn's hoping for, but again, just their time is ticking out. 50 seconds. I mean, even if they were to fumble right here to get the ball back, can they get into field goal range with only 1 or no timeouts? I don't know.
Yeah, you see Auburn just devastated by the score right now.
And I mean, you look. I mean, this defense only allowed 15 points, not as many points, 17 points rather. Because you look, I mean, there was a pick 6 and a kick return. If those 2 plays don't happen, Auburn's leading this ball game right now, 28-17. But it's a team of destiny. It feels like with Opelika, with having those plays early and just continuing to ride that wave of momentum. It's just not been great. And now, if they can get a first down or just continue to take the clock under 40 seconds right here, this ball game's over.
Yeah, now Cooper going to hand this one off to Johnson. Johnson's going to get tackled, actually still up, You see, yeah, Elijah Scott trying to get the ball out, and Auburn's going to call their last timeout here with 42 seconds, but third down here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I would expect Opelika right here. They're probably going to kneel the ball down, or maybe choose a play that takes about 2 or 3 seconds. The second it gets under 40, kneel the ball down, and that should do it. Just scenes here from everything that's going on. Looks like a Thompson touchdown, and that might set up the Warriors and the Bulldogs heading to the state championship game. Trent Seaborn versus Whit Cooper. Just could be a quarterback matchup that not a lot of people expected. A lot of people expected a Central Auburn rematch, and that's not what they're getting.
Yeah, certainly, Tripp. I mean, just I would say utter devastation here at Duck Sanford Stadium, as Auburn expected to win this game, and Opelika came in with a great game plan, able to get a big win here at Duck Sanford Stadium on the road, just as they come from a few miles down the road.
And once again, it's a cautionary tale. Maybe this team was looking ahead to the state championship game. Who are we playing, right? Instead, they should have focused on little old Opelika, your rival, that's going to get up for this game in a late hit. I'm surprised there's not going to be a flag, but if they're going to say that it's exactly 40 seconds, so they still might have to snap the ball, but it doesn't matter what happens as long as Auburn doesn't touch the football. The game's over.
Yeah, and that's probably going to do it, like you said, Tripp, for this game.
Wait, okay, so here's what they've happened. They said like the clock didn't start. So is it still third down, or is they saying it's fourth down and they're going to run the clock here and reset the game clock? What's happening?
It looked like it was a false start there, actually.
Okay, so they moved it back. So still, they're going to run the exact same play, and with the exact same result, it will be over.
Yeah, so now 3rd and 11 here.
You
see Cooper going to kneel this one.
He might have a second left.
Yeah, looks like Auburn will have about a second left here.
Coach Moore wants a flag on a late hit. I mean, I don't blame him. The Tigers just trying to force him to go down. But there's a 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. But that also could have been some home cooking by the Auburn clock operator. I know at least us with basketball, when at my high school, North Cobb Christian School, our coach had a look at the clock operator. Hey, take the clock down at different points. If it's us that have the ball, start the clock when we touch the ball. It's the other team that's inbounding the ball, start it when it leaves their hand, and that could be a difference maker in this one. Coach Moore very frustrated right now with the officials as the game clock winds down, and these officials going to talk about it, and maybe he's got a point there.
Well, I believe there was at least two seconds on the clock for Auburn to at least do something. Or maybe get something, or Opelika might just kneel it again. It just depends.
Yeah, they'll definitely kneel something. Auburn won't get the ball back. Even if there's 2 seconds left, it'll be a snap, 1, 2, and they're just going to turn around and run and just go down the second it hits 0 and sprint out of the city.
Well, it looks like the game's actually just going to be over.
It is over.
Yep,
yeah.
So Auburn loses to Opelika in the 101st annual Auburn-Opelika game, 31-28, and that ends a great season for the Auburn Tigers. But don't go away, folks. As we come back, we'll have AHS postgame.
You'll also be able to see the postgame celebration by Opelika, the trophy presentation for both the runner-up and the semifinalist winner, as Opelika punches their ticket to Birmingham. But after that, we'll be back for AHS postgame.
direct your attention to midfield for the AHSAA 2025 State Football Playoff Semifinalist Awards presentation. On behalf of the Alabama High School Athletic Association, appreciation is expressed to our corporate partners, Alpha Insurance, Coca-Cola, Encore Rehabilitation, Futures One, Jax, Team IP, Valero, and Wilson. And to our event sponsors, TNT Fireworks and the University of Alabama for supporting the 2025 Super 7 Championship. The awards will be presented by Dr. Gregory Moore, Principal at Auburn High School, Athletic Director James Slayton, Opelika Principal Kelly Fisher, and Athletic Director Craig Montel. Now representing Class 7A Region 2, please show your appreciation to the Auburn High School Tigers, coached by Keith Etheridge. And now, representing Class 7A Region 2 in the AHSAA Super 7 Football Championship at Protective Stadium in Birmingham, please congratulate the Opelika Bulldogs, coached by Brian Moore. This concludes the award ceremony. Thanks for supporting the 2025 AHSAA State Football Playoffs. We look forward to seeing you in Birmingham at Protective Stadium for the 2025 Super 7 Championships.
Hello everyone and welcome to AHS Postgame. I'm your host Reese Kinder, joined by my color analyst Trip Upton and James Tippins. A bad loss here for Auburn tonight, 31-28 as they fall to the Opelika Bulldogs. Opelika, congratulations. They are going to the state championship. But just like I said, a bad loss for Auburn. Expected to win this game was Auburn, and they did not show up today. But looking at it offensively, guys, what did you guys see from Auburn offensively?
Yeah, not much, Reese. I mean, started with the pick six on the second play of the game. That really just threw off Auburn offensively throughout the whole game. And injured Kason Myers, playing on a hurt arm. Couldn't really get any of those passes going. But hats off to this Opelika defense, man. They came to play. A little overlooked defensive squad, but they showed up tonight, not allowing really any yards at all to start the second half except for that last scoring drive. And then Opelika's run game just absolutely dominated Auburn's defense just on all sides of the ball. A great win for Opelika.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it, James. I mean, this Opelika offense was just incredible. CJ Johnson might earn himself ESPN top 10 highlight on that long touchdown run. I mean, he just played absolutely with his helmet on fire tonight, and they won in the trenches. That was where the game has always been decided between these two schools, and Opelika just dominated in the trenches. And if you're Coach Etheridge, it's got to frustrate you, especially with the amount of talent. You have two D1 players on either side of the ball that are going to the next level in the trenches, and they didn't show up tonight. I think that's point blank simple. And meanwhile, on offense, Myers was banged up. Pate struggled early and got the Tigers in a hole, and Opelika was able to play with momentum, play with emotion, and that's exactly what they did. You saw the offense come alive in the fourth quarter when they ended it. Where was that the entire game? I think that was got to be a question that a lot of coaches, fans, and players have to be asking, because when we were trusting Myers to push the ball down the field, he was playing well. Maybe the injury was a little bit worse in our minds than it was in his. So he was able to play pretty well. I thought he played as well as he could. I mean, he did throw the interception that let Opelika come back a little bit, but just an absolute for the pretty much last half and some change, domination by Opelika.
Yeah, and Opelika had a great game, scored 31 points against an Auburn defense who hasn't really given up much this season, and Auburn was able to kind of answer at the end, but it was just a little too late for the Tigers as they kind of wasted too much clock going to the end of that. But folks, that's going to do it for AHS post game. I'm Reese Kinder signing off for one final time. Trip Upton beside me, James Tippins. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah, Reese, you've been a fixture over here at Auburn High School, one of the first voices of the Tigers, so it's been so great to be with you this semester. I want to shout out our amazing control room as well. We've had some of the best camera operators, the best replay guys, the best graphics people, the best technical directors, and everything. So it's been a blast even for me for being here this semester. Obviously, if you didn't know, I'm at Auburn University. I'm a senior. I'm graduating only in a month from now, which is so crazy to think about. But these kids have a program to be proud of. They're national award finalists, national award winners, and that's what they do. And so I'm so excited to see where you head off. You're heading off to Troy after this spring, and James, you'll be here, and hopefully you'll be back. And you've been a joy to be around. Finally get to call a game with James.
Yep.
I've never been able to do that. I've been lucky to fill in when he's out of town, but he's going to be the guy next year, and hopefully maybe he calls Auburn heading down to Montgomery, maybe for a state championship. Don't want to say it too early, but a man can dream. Okay,
we'll put our predictions in there early.
We'll put our predictions in early, so you'll have all the content you need from the AHS mass media, and it's gonna be a great rest of the year. We got basketball coming up, we got soccer coming up. It's gonna be good. So,
but yeah, that's gonna do it for AHS post game. Hope you guys have a wonderful night.